If you weren't sure about the kind of team Charlie Manuel likes, then the last 2 days should have been a big help. Grab a bat, step up to the plate, and come out swinging. The Phillies offense has returned and kicked off the final homestand of August with a barrage of offense. From the left and right of the plate, the cuts are consistently fierce. Charlie likes hitting, and there's no debate. In South Philly, it's officially hitting season. Seems we have said this more often this year than any other season. The Phillies will go for the series sweep this afternoon against the New York Mets. That's right, it's the final game of this three-game set. Now, this series so far has been a lot about the starting pitching. It's been outstanding, but it's been more about the offense. How about a .343 average and 4 home runs and 19 runs in 2 different ball games for the Phils? That'll certainly get it done. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy. I'm joined by Gary Matthews. We'll talk to Wheels as we get set for the first pitch of today's ball game. Well, the Phillies have already won the season series against the New York Mets, but, Sarge, it goes deeper than that. They've won all 5 series, including the ones up at Citi Field here in 2011.
Yeah, you're right about that. They would like to go on and sweep the Mets. That is very difficult to do when you're sweeping a team. Take a look here at the numbers there. The Mets there with only those 4 wins there. They've just had kind of a dismal type year, a lot of different injuries. Fighting Phils have just really simply outplayed them there, Tom.
Well, and today it'll be Kyle Kendrick who will take the baseball for the Phillies. He'll go for the series sweep. He's been a swing guy for the Phillies all year long, and let's face it, he's done an exceptional job not only in the bullpen but also in the starting rotation.
Yeah, I think some of those other starters are starting to rub off on Kyle Kendrick there when he goes out on the mound. Take a look at the highlights there back in July when he pitched against the Mets there. He ended up going 7 innings, giving up there 6 hits, only 1 run that he ended up giving up. There's a double play there, but he's got to keep that ball down inside, get those ground balls there. Doesn't necessarily have to strike out hitters, just want to make sure he gives his team a chance to win, and he has actually done that. His last 6 starts there, record 2-1. I like that ERA of 2.37. And again, he needs to keep the ball down.
18 strikeouts, but he's not the kind of guy that's going to strike out a lot of batters. He'll get them, but more than anything else, he'll get the ground ball outs. And as he said just the other day, he's kind of enjoyed the opportunity not only to start this year, but also come out of the bullpen. He'll be opposed by right-hander Mike Pelfrey, who has had a rough year. This is his 27th start. He's 6-10 with an earned run average of 4.61. Well, last night the Phillies rode the offense, obviously. Shane Victorino, he's hit in 11 consecutive games. And John Mayberry Jr., he always looked like he could play. Now he's really playing well. The lineups at first pitch when we return. Get incredible deals during Toyota's nationwide clearance event going on now. By Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. By Xfinity, only from Comcast. The official HD triple play provider of the Phillies. By Citizens Bank. We're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. And by Independence Blue Cross. No matter where you are in life or business, we have plans that fit. Go to plansthatfit.com. 24th win of the season. It would put them 40 games over 500. They're already a season high 39 games over 500. And they take the field. Bright sunshiny afternoon. A gorgeous day. Let's take a look at the Mets starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off in center field, Angel Pagan. Ruben Tejada, the shortstop, bats second. Hitting third is David Wright. Lucas Duda, the right fielder, bats cleanup. The number 5 hitter is Jason Bay. Nick Evans starts again over at first base. He'll hit 6th. Josh Tolley, the catcher, bats 7th. Justin Turner is the second baseman. He'll hit 8th. And batting 9th and pitching is Mike Pelfrey. And they'll face Phillies right-hander Kyle Kendrick, who really has done a heck of a job, not only in the bullpen as a long man, but then swinging out to the mound to be a starter, making his 13th start of the year. Wills.
You know, you talk all that talk about the pitching staff at the beginning of the year, and think of the job that this guy and Vance Worley have done for the Phillies as we are here in the 3rd week of August. Unbelievable how good they both have been and how much they've contributed to the team. There are the numbers on Kyle, as Tom said, kind of back and forth. Now, we always put in there to control the left-handed hitters. He's been better at that too, and that's one of the reasons why I think he's improved his numbers. And when you face the Mets in this lineup today, there's not a whole lot of left-handed hitters to really worry about.
Yeah, he against the National League East this year is 4-1 with a 1.77 earned run average. That's some pretty impressive stuff.
Well, it's time now for Nissan Keys to this afternoon's ball game. Boy, it's really nice here at Citizens Bank Park. Well, you can run on Pelfrey. Look at that. 23 out of 25 have been successful on the big right-hander, and continue this hot offense if possible. It sure makes it a lot easier for the pitching staff and the way they're able to handle the bullpen when they don't have to match up there at the end of the game and try to get through it.
Well, there's Vance Worley, who did a heck of a job last night. He got through the first 2 innings. He threw 30 pitches in the first inning and was able to go 7 innings to get the victory last night. He's now 9-1. You combine his numbers with what Kendrick has done as a starter. I mean, you essentially have a 14-game winner between the two of them.
Exactly. And there's Brian Schneider right beside him. And can't mention those two guys without mentioning how important Brian Schneider probably has been to helping them through some things.
So here we go, the final game of this 3-game series. The Phillies looking for the sweep. Angel Pagan leads it off. He's 1 for 8 so far in the series against the Phillies. And he shows butt and takes a strike, so we're underway.
Pagan gets on base a lot. He's one of the better guys out of that leadoff spot in the league of getting on base. And there are his career numbers against Kendrick.
Overall, Pagan hitting .265 with 7 home runs and 46 runs batted in.
Mets on just a quick trip down here. They'll go home tonight. They're off tomorrow. Then they play the Braves over the weekend.
A time is called as Kendrick is in the windup. Well, if Pagan wasn't granted time, he was getting out of the box anyway.
Yeah. Somebody called time.
A little low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Kendrick, his last outing was against the Washington Nationals. He wasn't supposed to start, but because of a rain delay, 2 hours and 22 minutes in the top of the first, he took over for Roy Oswalt in that ball game. Down the left field line, it's 2-2. I asked him about that, and I said, how difficult was it to prepare? He said, well, he figured out about an hour before he took the mound that he was indeed going to start. He said the only thing he would have done differently is he wouldn't have had the double cheeseburger he had before the ball game if he knew he was going to start.
Yeah, you don't want a gut bomb like that if you know you're going to start that day.
2-2 pitch. Chopper to first, a foul ball. Mookie Wilson as it goes off his fingertips. Well, I asked him before today's game, I said, you going to have a cheeseburger? And he goes, no, I can't do that.
No.
But he did go 6 innings after the double cheeseburger the other day.
It's been a good one.
Off the hands, that'll drop in for a base hit. So Pagan's aboard, his 2nd hit of the series. Remember, he got on last night and got all the way to 3rd in that first inning, but then was thrown out by Placido Polanco on a ground ball trying to score.
And Pagan can do some things well. And I mentioned one of them is get on base. Been on base now 19 out of his last 20 games.
That'll bring Tejada to the plate. He's been the Mets' hottest hitter, one of them, in the month of August. He's kind of teetered back and forth with Pagan. Pagan's been around 365 all month. Tejada's at 367.
He can do things with this combination. Now Pagan wants to go out there and smooth out the dirt a little bit. He looked like he was even, I don't know whether he was going to go or not, but he made an aggressive move and they almost picked him off. But you can hit and run with this guy. Tom mentioned he's swinging the bat pretty well. Pagan could steal a bag.
Pagan 26 of 32 trying to steal this year.
There you go again. They caught him right in between stride there and almost got him.
Tejada in this series is 3 for 7. Overall, he's hitting .419 in his last 10 games for the Mets. And when Jose Reyes comes back off the DL, Tejada most likely will shift back over to second base. Pagan doesn't go. Tejada shows bunt, takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Tejada thought he was going there, and he just took a pitch for him. And, you know, his body language wasn't real good after that because he kind of showed that, look, if you're going to go, go. I don't know if I want to spot you too many strikes.
Just 21 years old. Kendrick thought that was a pretty good pitch. Instead, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Andy Fletcher's behind the plate today. Jim Reynolds is over at first. Mike DeMuro at second. And the crew chief Tim Welke's around at third. This is an experienced umpire crew that's out there. Hit towards shortstop. That could be 2. Martinez bobbles. It's not going to be anything. That was a double play ball. They would have at least gotten the lead runner. And that'll be an E6. It's the second error for the shortstops for the Phillies since Jimmy Rollins went on the disabled list.
That's tough for Kendrick too, because he is a ground ball pitcher. He got it, hit the heel of the glove a little bit, and then when he went for the transfer, couldn't do it, and then can't pick it up at all. So instead of 2 outs and nobody on base, there's trouble. And it's a little different for Kendrick than, say, Worley last night, because Kendrick is not a strikeout pitcher. And Worley, showing he could strike people out, was able to get out of jams a little bit easier.
Yeah, Vance picked up a career high 9 strikeouts in yesterday's game. So it's David Wright after the fielder's choice, the E6. 4th error of the year for Martinez. Wright has 24 previous at-bats against Kendrick. He has 6 hits in 24 ABs. And overall hitting .252 with 10 home runs.
Playing Martinez today because he is a natural shortstop, but also he had a 3-run home run off Pelfrey last time, so he got the start today.
Outside, 2-0.
Kendrick keeps looking around at Pagan. They don't want to worry about him that much. The odds are he's not going to go with nobody out. And all you're doing now is digging a deep hole to a guy like David Wright who can really hurt you.
That one just missed. It's 3 balls and no strikes to Wright. Lucas Duda is on deck. There was probably a day a couple years ago that David Wright on 3-0 would have been swinging. He's just not swinging the same way. Now he can. But this is a guy who drove in 100 runs or more in 4 different seasons.
Had some injury problems the last couple of years. At Bean last season.
3-1 pitch. Popped foul. It's 3-2.
Now you like to start runners with a sinker ball pitcher. You just saw there should have been a ground ball double play. Managers a lot of times though do not like to run with nobody out in first and second, because that's triple play country if you hit a line drive at somebody. So we'll see what Terry Collins decides to do here.
Runners don't go. And a line drive base hit to right field. Pregame froze, so he's going to stop at third. And the bases are now loaded with nobody out. Fortunately for the Phillies, Pregame waited to see if that ball was going to get caught by Chase Utley.
Now, he's never been a real good base runner, but in that case, you can't blame him. There's nobody out, and he just cannot get doubled off second base right there, or you don't want to go back to the dugout.
So just like last night, when Vance Worley was in trouble in the first and the second, Kyle Kendrick's in trouble here in the first. And Lucas Duda, 279 hitter with 7 home runs. He's the hitter, and he takes strike one. Duda with 2 runners on in yesterday's first inning went down looking on strikes.
And once again, they have that infield double play depth and would gladly give up a run for 2 outs.
Ground ball towards second. Utley has it. He'll get the runner at second base. That's it. A run will score. And it's 1-0 New York. So for the first time in this series, the Mets take the lead on an RBI by Lucas Duda.
You could hear the bat shatter. It certainly wasn't hit hard enough to get a double play, but Chase does a nice job of going to second base and getting the force out, because that leaves a double play in order one more time.
With a guy like Jason Bay, now he's a fly ball hitter, but he could still hit one right at the middle infielders for an easy double play.
Right. And this inning, of course, should be over right now, but Kendrick still has to work really hard because they don't turn the double play.
Bay has hit it to 7 double plays this year, and he takes inside with a sinker.
And we're going to have a Phillies pitcher with a very long first inning again tonight.
Worked out okay last night.
Today, I mean. Yeah, it worked out fine.
Boy, those are awfully close pitches. Vance Worley held the Mets to 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position in the first 2 innings last night. Tejada's over at third. Duda's at first. 1 run is in for the Mets here in the top of the first. The 2-2 pitch. Got him. Swing and a miss and a fastball. It was a sinker up, and Bay's down on strikes, 1 or 2 away.
Yeah, I think those are the first 2 swings and misses he's gotten in this inning too, and they really came at a great time. As Tom said, that pitch is up a little bit, but Jason Bay swings through 2 fastballs. That one cut a little bit, it looked like, maybe a cutter. And now he can see his way out of this with another out.
Nick Evans, the hitter. He's a .222 batter with a home run and 5 runs batted in. He takes ball 1. Evans has never faced Kyle Kendrick. He came in the middle of the first game of this series, then started yesterday. He's 2 for 5 overall in the series. To left field. That's pretty deep, and that's not coming back. A 3-run home run, and the Mets lead it 4-0. Second home run of the year for Nick Evans, and it's the 11th surrendered by Kendrick.
Well, those runs are going to be unearned, but on the board and a tough way to start out. A 4-0 hole against a guy like Pelfrey. Even though they hit him, he can be tough. One pitch away from getting out of this with one run. Set up away, comes running right back over the middle of the plate, and talk about putting the barrel on one. No doubt about it.
So it's 4-0 New York here at the top of the first. Josh Tolley's the hitter. Tolley's had an okay year, 268 with 3 home runs, 31 runs batted in. He has split time for a lot of this year with Ronnie Paulino. Right back to the box. Nice play by Kendrick. And the side is retired. But the Mets do score 4 runs in the inning. There was one big error by the Phillies. We go to the bottom of the first, and the Phillies trail it 4-0. Against right-hander Mike Pelfrey. Let's take a look at their lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at center field, Shane Victorino. Placido Polanco bats second. Chase Utley hits third, followed by Ryan Howard and Hunter Pence. John Mayberry's in left field. He'll bat sixth. Carlos Ruiz hits seventh. Michael Martinez, the shortstop, is the number 8 hitter, and Kyle Kendrick, of course, is on the mound. And they'll face right-hander Mike Pelfrey, who has struggled this year to a 6-10 record, a 4.61 earned run average, and you want to talk about an erratic guy.
Yeah, and that's why you can't panic. It's only the first inning. They haven't even batted yet. And Pelfrey's the kind of guy who, as you say, is erratic, and he also can get frazzled out there on the mound. There is a scouting report on him from Southwest Airlines. You can see he has tremendous stuff, but he has never pitched very well in this ballpark. This place seems to get in his head a little bit, and the Phillies have hit him hard here. So I said there are points in a game with Mike Pelfrey where you can see him just kind of leave the area mentally, and long way to go in this game.
Phillies beat him on the 17th of July 8-5 up at Citi Field. Jay Victorino leads it off and takes strike one. It's 0-1.
He has tremendous natural stuff, though. You know, he's a heavy sinker. He has a pretty good split that he throws now, mixing breaking ball too, and he can compete at times, but he just never seemed to get to the level where people thought he would get.
Last outing he threw 86 pitches against the Brewers, went 5 innings, allowed 8 hits and 4 runs. And he's ahead, no balls and 2 strikes to Victorino, who's hit in 11 consecutive games. And strikeout number 1 for Pelfrey.
We threw him 2 sinkers down, it looked like, and then just a high fastball was intentional too. You see Tolley, the catcher, put the glove up in the air. They wanted to go up there with 2 strikes, and they got him to chase.
Well, 1 out. Placido Polanco's the hitter. Polanco hitting .280 on the year with 4 home runs. He's had himself a pretty good series. He has 4 hits so far in the series. Opposite way, that's a bloop. Down the right field line, it's a fair ball. Polanco's aboard with a 1-out single. Oh, the ball got away from Duda, and Polanco read it beautifully. Head first slide. Well, that should be a single and an E9.
Yeah, Polanco was just going to get the first base there, take a little bit of a turn and hang on, down by 4-0 in the first inning. And you know, the Duda took a little peek or what happened. It wasn't hit hard, and it must have just kicked and spun off his glove. Take a look at it. Here he comes over near the line. Does he take a little peek? Can't tell there, but you see it hit right on the heel of the glove and then bounce far enough away for Placido to go to second. No, he didn't look. He just missed it. Yeah. Just right off the heel of the glove, little bounce.
It kicked away from him faster than it kicked to him.
Yeah. I thought he kicked it at first, but no, it just went off the heel.
Chase Utley's the hitter. 272 batter with 9 home runs, 38 runs batted in. And he takes strike 1.
And they can get one back. No double play in order. Base hit could potentially get you a run.
Chase has struggled against the Mets this year. It's kind of surprising because traditionally he has had some pretty good numbers.
Yeah, he hasn't had a real good first 2 games here with all this offense the Phillies have been kicking out there.
Lifted to right center field. Polanco's going to tag. And there are 2 outs. So 2 away. That'll bring Ryan Howard to the plate. Howard off last night because of a sore, I guess it's the Achilles. He showed me today, and it sure looked like the Achilles. That area toward the heel on the left foot. And John Mayberry got a chance to play first base last night. He's playing left field today. Ryan Howard is playing in his 1,000th game. I mentioned the other day that Chase Utley played in his 1,004th game at second base, passing Tony Taylor. And Ryan Howard today is in his 1,000th career game.
Thinking about home runs off Pelfrey. He's thrown 19 of them this year, 11 to left-handed hitters.
So he's trying to get a run here in the bottom of the first, down 4-0. Howard is second in the National League in runs batted in, a Prince fielder who, like Ryan, can pile them up at a quick pace, and he certainly has done that over the last week or so. The 2-0 pitch outside, 3-0. Fielder is the first National League hitter to reach 100 RBIs. He's exactly at 100 with the Brewers playing the Pirates today. In fact, he's the first player in Major League Baseball to reach 100 RBIs. Ryan was taking all the way. He takes ball 4. So that'll give Pence a chance with runners on first and third and 2 men down. So a quick conversation between Tolley and Mike Pelfrey. Pence is 3 for 7 on the homestand. He doesn't have many at-bats against Pelfrey. Obviously, the Astros and the Mets played each other just twice during the season. Swing and a miss at a sinker. It's 0-1. Pence has hit safely in 18 of the 22 games he's played in with the Phillies.
Scored a lot of runs and given them a tremendous energy in the middle of that order.
What do you think about having somebody get to know you? If you're an offensive player, you've gotten to know him pretty good.
Well, he's just what we thought he was. But now you know him a little bit personally and you realize how he fits in. But he's not a guy that he doesn't have smooth at bats. He doesn't do anything real by the book. But he produces. And what an addition to this club he's been and will be.
No balls and 2 strikes the count here in the bottom of the first. Up and in. 1-2.
You'll see teams are going to do that to him because he dives. You know, his first move is towards the baseball. And see, watch him dive. And he didn't have much time to dive on that one. That was a purpose pitch if there ever was one. And guys don't mind that stuff, but they don't like them quite that high.
Outside. So inside and tight. Down and away. 2-2. It would be nice to get a couple back here, even though they can just get one back here.
Yeah, just a little momentum swing.
Swing and miss. He went after some high heat. And the side is retired. So Pelfrey picks up a couple strikeouts in the inning. The Phillies leave 2. We've completed 1 here in South Philadelphia with the Mets leading the Phils 4-0. Hitting the road. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Phillies game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Phillies.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. Baseball here in Philadelphia has the Mets on top 4-0 as we go to the second. Justin Turner leads it off. It'll be Turner, Pelfrey, and then the top of the order. Fly ball right center field. Boy, the ball's carrying pretty well here today. Pence is back and he makes the catch. I mean, that ball took off and Pence covered a lot of ground to get to the warning track and reach up at the last moment to grab it out of the air.
That's one of the best catches. We haven't really seen him tested and make a lot of plays since he's been with the Phillies. The guy's a good outfielder, and he showed you there. He made a really good break on that right out of the chute. Not running to a spot because he has to watch it the whole time because of the way that it's carrying. and then reaches those long arms up and makes a play.
So one gone. Here's Mike Pelfrey.
It is obviously a day game here, and they will carry better in the daytime, and they're jumping right now.
Yeah, we talk about the sound, you know, the ball off the bat. That didn't sound like it was going to go that far.
No. Well, as Larry Bowa used to say, be loose. Turner's wondering, how'd he catch that? The way Turner hustles, too, he's thinking he may have a triple. Here's an example, too, of a guy not taking a poor at bat out to his position with him, and that'll happen, too. It's a lot of times it's just human nature.
Hunter Pence will get another play here as he takes a one hopper from Mike Pelfrey.
Guy has a bad at bat, leaves some men on base, goes out, has got his head down a little bit, doesn't react right away, and not in Hunter Pence's case here.
Sunday night, Eagles head coach Andy Reid talks about the new look Eagles and how this team will succeed this season. Watch Birds of Summer Sunday night at 5:30 and 10:30 only on Comcast Sportsnet. A one-out single. Here's Angel Pagan. Pagan singled and scored in the top of the first. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. Wheels, there are reports out of San Francisco that the Giants have been awarded the waiver claim on reliever Heath Bell.
Whoa.
So now the Giants and the Padres need to work out a deal.
Well, that shows you they're worried about Brian Wilson.
They sure are. Shane Victorino into the alleyway in left center. Pelfrey goes back to first. Well, if Wilson comes back, you know, the Giants are still within reach in the West because the Arizona Diamondbacks and the San Francisco Giants both had troublesome road trips. Arizona's only up by 2. The Rockies have pulled to within 8.5. They've won 4 straight.
Is it Rocktober?
I don't think it's Rocktober yet.
Don't see how they can do that this year, but you know they make unbelievable runs in October and September. I mean August and September.
Well, if Wilson comes back, and they got Wilson, Heath Bell, Sergio Romo, Jeremy Affeldt.
It's a good bullpen.
Yeah.
It was anyway. But Wilson obviously is not the same guy, and he finally went down with an elbow problem.
0-1 the count to Tejada with a runner at first and 2 outs. Strike 2.
A lot of teams passed on Bell then, huh?
That's a good point.
Where the Giants are in the standings.
In the dirt, 1-2 the count. Tejada reached on a fielder's choice, an E6 his first time up. That turned out to be a big play in the first. It was an error by Michael Martinez. And then the Mets went on to score 4 unearned runs in the first.
And Michael Martinez, we talked earlier, he got the start today because he hit the 3-run home run off Pelfrey, and unfortunately makes a mistake there in the first inning, and they couldn't pitch around it. Valdez is going to play a lot of shortstop, and Michael Martinez is a natural shortstop, a natural infielder who's played a little bit in the outfield too, and they did that in the outfield with him in spring training to see if he could play the outfield, but he is an infielder, and he just kicked that one.
Here's the 2-2. Fly ball, right field. Pence had him played perfectly, so Kyle Kendrick does allow a base hit to Mike Pelfrey, but leaves him over at first. We played 1.5. We go to the bottom of the second. The Phillies offense try to get back into the swing of things. Well, with a deposit, fans can now be placed on the priority wait list for 2012 season ticket plans. Deposits do not guarantee a ticket plan, but do hold a place on the priority wait list. See the ticket section at Phillies.com for details. Oh, what a gorgeous afternoon. Although we're toward the end of August, it's still a little warm out. Try to cool yourself down any way you can. It'll be John Mayberry, Carlos Ruiz, Michael Martinez, the hitters. Phillies went over 3 million fans last night. Pretty impressive stuff. And it'll just keep on getting packed for the remaining month plus of this season here at the ballpark. Last couple of nights, though, it's just been, I mean, we always throw the word electric out, but there's just been a buzz all around the yard.
All that offense got everybody into the game quick.
Well, that's true, too.
And the way that Worley was able to pitch out of those jams last night.
Well, here's John Mayberry, who's put himself together a pretty good year. 275 with 12 home runs and 41 runs batted in. Riding a 6-game hitting streak. And there's strike one. Is the next test to see how John plays on an everyday basis, you think?
Well,
I know he's not going to get a chance to play every day.
Right.
Raul Ibanez said today that he'll probably be okay to play on Friday.
And the question with Mayberry throughout his career has always been, can he hit right-handed pitchers breaking balls? Because he's a really good fastball hitter and he hits left-handers. There's Raul. You know, he's working him away with stuff right there. He just threw him a slider and he took it, as opposed to, you know, taking a wild swing and a breaking ball out of the strike zone. So that's part of the answer. If he can do those kind of things, yeah, he could play every day. He's a really good athlete, obviously, a tremendous outfielder.
2-1 chop towards second. Turner throws him out, one away. So Mayberry's retired. By the way, you saw Raul Ibanez standing next to Jose Contreras in the dugout. Contreras, it was revealed yesterday, will have exploratory surgery on his right elbow. He talked today with Juan Samuel as his interpreter. As he said, it's very frustrating, being the competitor that he is, to sit back and watch most of this year and not contribute. And he's disappointed that he'll have to have the surgery, but he's hoping it means that he'll be healthy enough to play next year.
He's under contract for Phillies next year. That guy's had a lot of bullets in that arm for a long time, and I guess he just broke down a little bit, and they'll find out what it is and repair it. As you say, hopefully he'll be able to come back and help them next year. That's a blow, though. They really thought they were going to have him for the back end of the bullpen for the end of the season and hopefully further on.
Carlos Ruiz, a one-out single. Second hit of the day for the Phillies against Mike Pelfrey. And that'll bring Michael Martinez to the plate. Martinez has got some at-bats during this series because they've put him in late just to give other guys a breather.
Yeah, they had those big leads.
His one hit against the Mets this year came against Pelfrey. It was a home run. Otherwise, the other pitchers have solved Michael Martinez.
Yeah, well, Charlie, as we mentioned, he said he wanted to play him today because of what he did off Pelfrey. And also, he doesn't want to play Valdez every day because, you know, that could take a toll on a guy not used to it. So, you know, today he rolled the dice with Martinez. And at this point, it hasn't worked out because he kicks that ball in the first inning. It turns into 4 runs.
There's Wilson chit-chatting. Out of play, and it's 1-2. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Barbara Queter. If the Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, then Barbara will win $100. Ruiz over at first. One man down here in the bottom of the second. Pelfrey gave up the first career home run for Martinez. He's had one more since. And it was a long one, too, because it was hit to right field at Citi Field. Well, he's thrown some pitches here in this ball game so far.
Well, you have two guys who are very deliberate with men on base in this game today. So this will not have a real good pace to it if men are on base.
It does seem to be kind of slow.
Yeah.
Outside, 2-2. Off the end of the bat, a base hit to left center field. Ruiz around second will hold up there. The Phillies at first and second with one out.
And they'll probably send Kendrick up there to bunt and hopefully put two runners in scoring position and have Shane Victorino, a hot hitter, hopefully produce and maybe cut the lead in half. I mean, I would think that's the game plan right now.
Kyle's a good athlete. He has the ability to lay down a sacrifice bunt. Overall, he's hitting .238.
Has 3 sacks this year, 21 in his career. David Wright way down the line at third base. Try and make him feel that and get him away from the bag.
And he bunts it toward first. Evans picks it up, looks to third. Oh, he missed him. And now he's called out for going out of the baseline. I think.
Yeah,
it looked like he missed him. So the sacrifice is successful.
I'm surprised Evans didn't throw that. It looked like Wright had retreated unless he hadn't gotten back and was under control, because that's a force play with a catcher running at third base, and the ball was bunted really hard at Evans.
And Kendrick had to kind of back out a little bit.
You know, you see here's Kendrick now. As you said, he misses him. Well,
yeah, I think he missed him.
It's hard to tell, but it looked like they calls him out for being out of the baseline anyway when the umpire finally makes a signal. He's pretty far out. See, he points at him. I don't know. But anyway, they did have a play at third.
Well, maybe a break for the Phillies. They have 2 in scoring position for Victorino. Victorino's closing in on Jose Reyes' lead for triples in the season. In fact, he's the first major league player since Reyes back in 2008 to have at least 14 home runs and at least 14 triples.
Well, that's pretty special. You compare him as an offensive player to Jose Reyes with his amazing speed and also his potential. And Reyes plays in a park that's much more amenable to triples than this one. That Citi Field is a cavern, and there are all kinds of places to shoot balls in that place for triples, especially if you can run like Reyes. Here, much more difficult to get triples.
So Shane's numbers with the count 2 balls and no strikes. Shane's 7th in the league in hitting at .314.
Pelfrey out there diddling around right now too, and this is one of the things that he does. And you know, they probably get some shaking their head about it.
This is the part of the reason that I could never see him as a closer. You know, the fact that they brought that up.
Yeah. Well, you and I kind of shot that down real fast the other night in our opinion. You in my opinion. And he's a contact pitcher. lot of room up the middle for Shane on the right side of second base as second baseman. Turner's playing pretty much a pull, as you see there. A lot of room in there if you get one by the pitcher.
Figured somebody had a call time. Line drive, base hit into center field. The Phillies will get 2 runs back. Victorino's hitting streak is at 12. It's a 4-2 ball game.
That's a nice job, of course, by Shane. But think of what happened in this inning. The 8-hole hitter gets a hit after the 7-hole hitter, and then your pitcher with 1 out bunts him over. They don't go to third on the play. And you go up there and try to get a 2-out hit. The hardest hit to get, a sinker up a little bit. A lot of room up the middle. Just like that, the Phillies cut it in half, and it's only the second inning.
Now we'll see if Victorino decides to run against Pelfrey. We said before, you can run against him. In fact, teams have done it quite often here in 2011.
23, well, we put up 23 out of 25.
Yep. Polanco's been hot in this series. In fact, since he's flipped off the DL, he's 5 for 10. Singled his last time up, was left over at third. Now they thought he was going, so they waste a pitch.
Yep. They pitch out on the first pitch thinking he's going to run on the first pitch.
Boy, Tolley really cheated too. I mean, he was up in front of the plate at the top of the batter's box. He was looking to cut that down.
I don't know if Victorino saw that earlier or whether he wasn't going, but you're right. He jumped out in a hurry.
Kind of quick pitch in there. It's 2-0.
What you try to do is make Pelfrey lift the leg up because he's so tall and slow to the plate. See, he gave a little leg kick that time. He's trying to do a slide step, trying to do something with the front leg, quicken his delivery, help his catcher out a little bit. 6'7" guys have to try and do something like that to help their catchers.
Toyota Major League Scoreboard, our first look, and we go to Pittsburgh, where Jose Tabata, who just signed a 6-year extension with the Pirates, has helped them to a 2-0 lead over the Brewers. And the Central Division has the Brewers. They're up by 10.
And they blew that wide open. Just this month. There are a lot of teams hanging around in July and early August, and they're gone now.
Number again, foul. It remains 2-2.
Never say never, but you know, you do that sort of stuff by the 3rd week of August, and you're sitting in pretty good shape. That's a good move that time. He was really quick and he almost got it.
There he goes. And a foul ball on Victorino, who got a good jump, but he would have had the base stolen. We'll head back to first.
Yeah, trying to steal the bag right there, get into scoring position. Of course, goes 3-2. He's running anyway. Straight steal. Heard the ball hit. Just took a look back to see if he could pick up what happened.
So this inning, 25 pitches. The Phillies have scored 2, looking for a little bit more. Again, it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Polanco.
Mike Pelfrey in this ballpark is 1-3 in 7 starts with a 9.38 earned run average. So you know he's not comfortable here.
Victorino goes, and he'll go to third. Well, that's a pretty good piece of hitting right there by Polanco. First and third, 2 outs. Second hit of the day for Placido Polanco.
In fact, they were covered with a second baseman. It's kind of surprising with Polanco, because he hits the ball the other way a lot, and it did look like Turner was covering. There he goes. He inside outs it, hits it to right field a lot. Victorino running on a steal again, and then sees the ball going to right field, and obviously can walk on over to third base. But you think with a fastball, I don't know, just would cover with the shortstop there, figuring, you know, if it's a breaking ball, different, you know, because then maybe you'll pull it. But in that case, you think he'd cover with the shortstop.
Just because of the style of the hitter more than anything else.
Right, and the velocity of the pitch, and the guy who hits the ball the other way. That's why the middle infielders wait until they see the sign given on what the pitch is many times before then they do mouth open, mouth closed, or whatever it is on who's covering.
So the Phillies down 2, have 2 on, and 2 outs here in the bottom of the second with Chase Utley due up. He flied to center his first time up. Chase needs 9 more home runs to tie Bobby Abreu for 9th place all time in Phillies history. Gives you perspective on how successful his career has been. Bobby was here for a long time.
And, you know, the crowd, everybody took a little punch in the gut in that first inning. But now Phillies rallying, 2 in, 2 on. A guy like Utley up, heading the counter, starting to get into it a little bit.
Fights it off. This has been a long inning for Pelfrey.
We're only in the second inning in this game. It's almost an hour old. As I said, they're both deliberate, especially Pelfrey.
Over toward the middle. That'll get through. A base hit. Victorino will stroll on home. An RBI for Utley. It's a 1-run game. 3 straight hits for the Phillies. 5 in the inning.
5 singles, producing 3 runs. Running the bases well in this inning. And there you go. 2 crooked numbers. 7 runs in an inning and 2/3. Here it is. He fights this one off. Pelfrey made a real good pitch on him. Middle of the diamond is wide open. See Chase pull the hands in there, and you say just fight off the fastball. Me and Pelfrey have had some go back and forth over the years, so he enjoyed that, I'm sure. Chase did.
Now Ryan Howard, who walked his first time up.
Mets have to be thinking, you got to be kidding me.
It's been that kind of month, that kind of series for them. Swing and a miss. He went upstairs with a high fastball. It's 0-1.
Has a runner in scoring position and Polanco at second. Once again, you look out and Pagan plays really shallow in center, especially with a runner in scoring position, trying to give himself a chance to throw him out at the plate.
That looked like a split, and it's 0-2. Well, Sam Perlazzo's wearing the microphone for us this afternoon. Next half inning, we'll take a listen to what Sam has had to say. He's had a lot of company over at first base today, particularly in this inning.
There's been a lot of movement on the bases in this inning. Phillies have run the bases well in this inning and executed well with the bunt.
It seems so long ago that Kendrick bunted.
Yeah. And, you know, they go with the 2-out bunt, the out that would make it 2 outs to try and score runs with 2 outs, and they have. So that is just more proof that they're a hot offensive team right now.
Somebody just yelled, "Throw the ball." He does take a long time.
Tried to point that out as diplomatically as possible, and now it's become manifest. That's the right way to say it. Okay, some guy was planning his trip to the concessions after the second. 50 pitches for Pelfrey. Not real good balls and strikes.
Hunter Pence is on deck. If he gets up, the Phillies will bat it around.
In a ballpark where Pelfrey has not had much success, and you know he knows it.
He may have just gotten away with a pitch there. Howard fouls it down the left field line. And Tolley's going to go out to the mound. I mean, that was a fastball at 94.
Yeah.
Ryan was just a little late on it. So the runners will be off. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Try to throw that high fastball again, see if he chased. They got Hunter Pence on that last time. And also Brian Howard swung at one early in the count.
It's 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Polanco on second, Utley on first. There they go. Inside, ball 4. And the bases are loaded. And the Phillies have batted around.
Started with a ground out by John Mayberry. As Tom says, they have now batted around with Hunter Pence up with some men on base.
Pence struck out his first time up. Get ready, though, folks. If Pelfrey throws a first pitch strike, it would be his 38th pitch of the inning, but Pence most likely is going to be swinging.
Oh, he swings early, especially when there are men on base. Notice that right out of the chute with him coming over here, that he likes to attack in RBI situations.
A base hit, the Phillies should take the lead. threw him a splitter, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, and of course they know that too. Just what we're talking about, that he's going to swing early in the count with men on base, especially. So they didn't give in on the first pitch.
Pence's numbers with the bases loaded. He has 2 salamis. Fouls it back, and it's 0-2.
Well, you didn't expect him to walk with the bases loaded.
You like his aggressiveness. He's got Polanco at third, Utley at second, and Howard around at first. It's no balls and 2 strikes.
Guy's a bad ball hitter too a lot of times.
Fights it off. Well, if anything, you know, the Phillies are going to see the Mets bullpen at some point early today.
Yeah, the Mets bullpen is really struggling. So used to talking about all these teams the Phillies have been playing lately with good bullpens. Mets not one of them.
Outside, 1-2. I think the Mets are going to get somebody up and throwing. They got a catcher out there. Their bullpen coach has picked up a baseball. DJ Carrasco looks like he's getting himself ready to start throwing. Fly ball, right field. Went after a high pitch. Duda comes in, makes the catch, and the side is retired. The Phillies do climb back to within 1. They leave the bases loaded. We go to the third. It's 4-3 New York. Batted around in their half of the second. We mentioned that Sam Perlazo is mic'd up for us this afternoon. Let's take a listen to some of the things that Sam has had to talk about today.
What's up, Jimmy? How are you, bud?
How's everything?
Good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. I got 2 down, watching third to first, all right?
Hey, you mic'd up.
Lost all my friends. Way to go get it, Hunter. Another boy. Come on, man, just go.
That's Roy Oswald, who reminded everybody that Sam was mic'd up, and then Sam followed with, I've lost all my friends. But we'll have more with Sam Perlazo as the game moves on.
Trust us, guys. That'll be edited.
Here we go. Top of the third. It's a brand new game. You figured it would be at some point. Kyle Kendrick has watched his offense climb to within 1. He'll face David Wright, Lucas Duda, and Jason Bay.
And you just see Hunter Pence basically got himself out in that inning. But we've seen enough of him over the years and a little bit of time that he's been here that he'll take that same pitch he just popped up and he'll hammer it somewhere. And, you know, like all good players and players you like to watch, you take the good with the bad in this business.
And there's been a whole lot of good.
Oh.
Since he's come over from Houston.
Yeah, he will take a pitch up there around the letters or up around his nose and just blast it. Because he's going to swing a lot of those.
1-1 the count to right. He singled his only time up. Hunter Pence has also made an exceptional running play out in right field today. He'll get another chance. Sunglasses on. That ball's carrying out to the warning track, to the wall. It carried out of the ballpark. An opposite field home run for David Wright, his 11th of the year. And it's now a 5-3 New York lead.
Yeah, what you're looking for is a clean inning, obviously, after the Phillies get some momentum and come back. And unfortunately, David Wright hits that ball in the ballpark. He can hit it out to right and right center. The ball is really carrying here today. And we've seen him do plenty of that. That's something he can't do in his ballpark now, which has really frustrated him. Look like a sinker. Not a real bad pitch either. But he used to hit a lot of balls out of Shea Stadium to right and right center field. You can't do that at Citi Field.
So it's back to a 2-run lead. Here's Lucas Duda, who had an RBI and a fielder's choice his first time up. And that ball got a piece of him, so he's hit by a pitch. Fifth batter that Kendricks hit this year.
And there's nothing real clean about this game today.
Ball foul. It's 0-1. Bay struck out his first time up. The ball just got away. It's 1-1. On the outside corner, it's 2-2. Duda's not really a threat to run. He only has one stolen base. Line drive to center field. Victorino coming on. He makes the catch. That ball, we had a great view of what that ball was doing, and basically it was darting left to right on the line as it went out toward Victorino.
Yeah, that thing had a chance to knuckle. Watching it go out, as Tom described, that's a very tough play, and Shane makes a good job, does a good job. See, he just froze for just a second, trying to figure out, and that'd be one of those ones they ask him if that thing was knuckling, because it sure looked like it, and they're hard to catch.
Well, one away, and here's Evans, who homered his last time up. Whacks that foul. Looks like it got a piece of Ruiz, and it's 0-1.
He tried to throw him a sinker away last time up, ran it right back over the middle of the plate, hit the ball of the ballpark. Both these pitchers, a lot of pitches early in this game.
It's been such a luxury for the Phillies to have the starting staff go so deep into games. You know, there haven't been many games where you're thinking in the 5th inning, all right, who's going to come in first? Now, Kyle's generally that guy, but he's gotten a lot of reps as a starting pitcher recently. 2-1 the count.
Yeah, they had to work through some of that stuff last week and over the weekend because of rain, but not because their pitching failed them. Rich Stubbe's really had to do a lot of juggling with his staff, trying to figure some things out with all the weather problems.
They throw behind Duda. He's back. Swing and a miss. Through a cutter there. It's 3-2. Josh Tolley's waiting on deck. Runner goes. Pitch is grounded toward the hole. Off the glove of Polanco and into left. Duda's going to stop at second. I don't know if Martinez would have had a play because he was going deep in the hole anyway.
Yeah, and he wasn't going to get anybody because, as you said, the runner was running.
Yeah.
So even if he gloves it, they don't have a play at second. Here's Evans, pulls off that, but hits it right off the end of the bat, a perfect spot. See, Martinez would have had a backhanded, obviously, and be running away. There's the runner halfway there at that point, and he's already at second base almost, and the ball's right there. So, no, and actually they got a break on that. The dude is so, well, he's not fast. So a lot of guys would have been at third on that play.
I was surprised he just didn't go to third. He didn't.
You know what? He may not have picked it up. Got the feeling when he came around second, he was trying to find it, and instead of looking at his third base coach, he froze, and it was too late.
Tolley grounded to shortstop his first time up.
Because he should be at third.
Ground ball right side. Utley will get one. It'll be at second, and that's it. There are 2 outs with runners on first and third. And Turner is the hitter. Monday, September 5th, the Phillies and the Baseball Tomorrow Fund will be collecting new and gently used baseball and softball equipment to benefit Pitching for Baseball, an organization that provides equipment to deserving communities both in Philadelphia and around the globe. Donations may be made at any of the entrance gates. Now, fans donating will have a chance to receive an autographed item as well. Turner fly to right. That fly ball to right was a good play by Hunter Pence into the alley. And back toward the scoreboard.
Yeah, and also you see Duda not going to third base. It just costs them a run at this point. Now, hopefully the Phillies can get out of this and just give up the one on the homer by right.
Inside, 2-1 the count.
You really don't want to get hurt here either, because you do have the pitcher on deck and 2 outs. And they're not going to hit for Pelfrey.
It's evened up now, 2-2. Turner's actually not a bad guy to have down in the 8-hole, even for RBIs. I mean, his RBI total on the year is at 43. A lot of those came very early.
It's 24 doubles. He got robbed of a doubles last time up, maybe even a triple.
333 hitter with runners in scoring position.
Both pitching coaches and managers are in the dugout right now thinking, where are we going with the staff today? Luckily, they both have a day off tomorrow.
Fly ball right center field. This should do it for the inning. Victorino under it, makes the catch. So Kendrick allows a run, leaves two. We go to the bottom of the third here in Philly. Fans trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the info. And please submit your answer in the subject line. There it is. What Mets pitcher holds the franchise single season record for shutouts by a rookie?
Boy, they certainly have some potentials.
They do. The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning.
Some pretty good pitchers have good rookie seasons.
Oh, bottom of the third. It's 5-3. Mets on top. It'll be Mayberry, Ruiz, and Martinez. Let's see what kind of leash Mike Pelfrey has.
Well, they'd like to see him pitch out of the windup a little more. Because in the stretch, oof.
Inside, 1 ball and no strikes to Mayberry. Mentioned Mayberry's playing left field today for Raul Ibanez. Ibanez did receive a shot and said he's feeling better. He was asked, did the shot help? He said, yeah. And he said he should be able to go day after tomorrow. And that's obviously Friday after the off day. The good news is that John has played well enough that he's hot enough that you can keep him in the lineup. And you're not missing too much right now, the way things are rolling.
Florida Marlins come in here with all right-handers set to go this weekend.
Two balls, 2 strikes the count to Mayberry. Down and away, 3-2.
Everything, well, 1 pitch in, but for the most part, just staying away from him the whole time with sinkers.
Talk about a guy that's taken 2 steps back in his career, Pelfrey.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a mystery. Oh, man, that got Fletcher.
Taking a look at the mask as Tolley goes out to the mound. He'll bring a baseball to Pelfrey.
And home plate umpire, it's only the third inning, and he's seen a ton of pitches already. And this one, he saw it real close. Boink.
Take a listen. He's not wearing a mic, but we can hear it. A lot of padding inside that mask, but there's also a lot of pressure when the ball hits that fast.
Yeah, a little more humidity here. He'd really been feeling that one. Still pretty pleasant.
Another foul ball, and again it's 3-2. Center field. It was toward the end of the bat, so it's going to be an easy play for Pagan. One away. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Mazda. Zoom Zoom. By Xfinity, only from Comcast, the official HD triple play provider of the Phillies. By WB Mason. Who bought WB Mason for amazingly low office product prices? And by McDonald's. I'm loving it. One away here in the third. Carlos Ruiz, who started the rally in the second with an opposite field single, will hit against Pelfrey. And there's strike one. Carlos is 9 for his last 16 with a couple of walks.
And a bunch of multi-hit games lately too. His swing's been nice and short, compact, getting a lot of hits. For whatever reason, you know, he gets into a big swing period and he makes a lot of outs on fly balls and weak ground balls.
But when
he does that, you see how short that swing was, and he just hits the ball back through the middle, and he's really got it going nice. You know, another multi-hit game, Tom.
Yeah, 10 for his last 17.
Real quick. You know, there's nothing about this game that's easy, so you know there are just periods he goes into that big loopy swing of his and he's an out.
And he goes back and watches the video and realizes what he needs to do. In fact, there are a lot of people that help him. Obviously, Greg Gross is one. Charlie Manuel. Mick Billmeyer helps him a lot of times with his swing because he knows him so well.
Well, most guys know what they're doing when they're doing it. It's kind of like when you're playing golf. You know what you're doing when you're doing it, but can you stop? And in Carlos's case, he is able to correct it.
0-1 the count to Martinez. There goes Ruiz. Carlos Ruiz, his first stolen base of the year. Well, he was reading Pelfrey all the way and realized, you know what, he's not even paying attention to me. I'm going.
Yeah, and Evans was off him too. Sure, he and Sam Perlazo has some good communication down there on this. Here, Pelfrey. He jumps right out real quick, but you know they were holding him on. I thought maybe they were off him a little more than that, but no, they were holding him on. He just read it.
The 11th career stolen base for Ruiz. We'll go over to third on that chopper to second, but Kendrick is due up, so Kyle will need a 2-out base hit to bring home another run for the Phillies. Kendrick had to sacrifice his last time up. Mentioned yesterday how the Phillies pitching staff has well, really chipped in this year. They have the second most hits among National League teams, among Major League Baseball teams, to the Arizona Diamondbacks, who they're led by Daniel Hudson, who's leading every category offensively for a pitcher.
Kyle has 5 hits.
Cliff Lee has been the leader offensively for the Phillies, for their pitchers. See their average at 170, 3rd in the National League, 6th in Major League Baseball. Now, if you put the at-bats, if you put a certain amount of at-bats to the limit, then the American League teams probably wouldn't qualify.
Right. Oof. A lot of pitches, but he has a 2-run lead.
He's shaking his head now. I think he thought that was a strike, but you're not going to get many calls from the home plate umpire if you're nibbling the way he's nibbled today.
Yeah, this game's pace is not the fault of Andy Fletcher.
Broke his bat, grounded to second. Justin Turner gobbles it up. And the Phillies are retired here in the 3rd. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left in scoring position. The Phillies have left 6. We go to the 4th. The Phillies down by 2. Binders with easy open, gap-free rings. Who but W.B. Mason? Oh, we go to the 4th there at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies and Mets involved in, I don't think you can call it a slugfest. It's a 5-3 ball game. Phillies scored 3 in their half of the 2nd. And the Mets scored 4 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd. But it's been kind of an interesting pace for both starting pitchers, Sarge. You know, the Phillies as a team have guys that move.
Yep.
I mean, they move quickly. Cliff Lee, Roy Halladay, Cole Hamels. You know, so the infielders are kind of used to, you know, that kind of a pace. The Mets, I'm not sure what they're used to, but Pelfrey is not keeping the pace up, so to speak.
No, he's been in and out, not throwing a lot of strikes. He started out throwing a lot of strikes, but he's been effectively wild, if you will, in being able to get some of the hitters out, but too many base runners. And hopefully he'll keep pitching that way, and fighting fields will jump on him. As a fielder, though, you know, you've been out in left field, wandering around, waiting for a pitch to be thrown. I mean, you want it to be crisp, I would think, right? Well, you want it to be. You want them throwing strikes, and a lot of times the fielders, if you feel that that particular pitcher isn't throwing well that day, you take some steps back and make sure maybe you can cut that off if you can. There's a ground to the 3rd. Nice play by Polanco. 1 out here in the 4th. And back to the top of the order for Angel Pagan. Well, with all that said, you know, Phillies are only down by 2. Yep. Pelfrey's not long for this game.
we'll see about Kyle Kendrick if he can get some clean innings here, but they're going to be in the Mets bullpen pretty soon.
Yeah, well, you would hope so, and being in there the last couple of days might make it a little bit easier for them. Those relievers shouldn't be as sharp.
All right, well, we'll see. So it's 5-3 New York here at the top of the fourth. And Angel Pagan, who's 1 for 2. Go back for the third time. There's a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. One of the true assets that Kyle Kendrick has presented the Phillies this year has been his ability to be a long man out of the pen and be a starting pitcher, whether it be a spot starter or be in the rotation, which he essentially is right now. It's not an easy job. It's not one that any starting pitcher would want, with maybe the exception of being in the major leagues. That's the good news of it.
Yeah, and the other good news is that he's been able to do that from the long relief and then coming in and spot starting, which is difficult because difficult to keep your rhythm going, I would think. If you're not a starter, when you're a starter, there's a certain routine that you go through before you get ready to take your next start. As a spot starter, that's usually a surprise when another pitcher has an injury.
Foul back, and it remains 2-2. Kyle said his routine is very different if he knows he's in the rotation compared to if he's in the bullpen. He said a lot of the stuff he would normally do before a game as a starter when he's not in there, he has to wait to do after the game as a relief pitcher. You know, whether it be weights or certain cardio training or things like that.
Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about, the different routines that you go through when you're a starter compared to the pitcher pitching in the bullpen. And this is a different role, too, when you're long relief as opposed to just throwing maybe 1 or 2 innings.
Off the foot of Pagan.
Well, anytime you hit a ball and you hit it off your foot there or your leg, it doesn't make you feel good. A lot of times pitchers will try and come right back in that same spot. Greg Maddux used to do that quite a bit.
That's not a bad pitch, boy. That was awfully close. So a walk to Pagan with 1 out. And it'll bring Ruben Tejada to the plate.
You're right. It was a good pitch by Kyle.
Now get Philly Sports on the go. Be the first to know everything about your favorite teams right from the palm of your hand. Your teams right now. Download the free CSN Sports app today. With 1 away and a runner over at first, here's Tejada, who's 0 for 2. His ground ball in the first was a big one because it opened up the gates for a 4-run inning against Kendrick. Pagan broke and then stopped on the pitch out.
Yeah, I would think, though, Mets would still try and be aggressive and getting runners in scoring position. They know how the fighting feels, can explode on you. Don't usually do it twice in a row on pitch out. I've seen managers, however, do that.
Pagan goes. The throw by Ruiz a little high, and he's safe at second. Boy, that throw had some velocity on it, but it was just a little too high for Utley to grab it and make the tag.
Yeah, pretty good jump, too, by Angel Pagan as he goes head first. No, that wasn't a pitch out, but almost like one. He got a fastball on that outside part of the plate, and he was able to come up. Just a high throw. If it's a low throw, you could see what would have had him.
Boy, that looked like, that angle looked like he may have gotten it. Looked like his right hand went past the bag. Back toward the middle, off the glove of Kendrick, backhanded by Utley. He fakes, throws to third, and Pagad gets back to the bag.
What a great play.
That'll be a base hit for Tejada.
Like normally that base runner is coming around the bag, and Pagad. There's a bullet going up the middle. Looked like that might have hit Kyle's glove there. Slows it down as Chase comes in, your pitcher, and has the mind to throw that ball. Lobs it over there to third base. Now you can see it now. He should almost be rounding the bat. He's taking his time, and then he gets back. That's heads up base running.
Inside, 1-0 to right. So the Phillies will play the infield at double play depth with 1 out, trailing it by 2. Wright homered his last time up. They score that a base hit, by the way, for Tejada. As Michael Schwimmer's up and warming. A liner to left. Mayberry will make the catch. Pagan tags from third. The throw goes to second. It'll be a sacrifice fly for Wright. And it's 6-3 New York.
See how big now that stolen base is for Pagan, able to get over to third base on the ground ball or the shot up the middle by Tejada. Well, those are those little things that don't show up in the box scores the next day, but they're so huge for the success of a club.
So Pagan scores on an RBI by Wright, his second of the day. David Wright is now 27 RBI away from tying Darryl Strawberry for the most in Mets history. Outside, 1-1. Foul territory. Ruiz is over. So is Polanco, and Ruiz makes the grab right off the shoulder of Polanco. And the side is retired. 1 run for the Mets on 1 infield hit. They leave 1. The top of the order is due up when we come back for the bottom of the 4th. Jeep brand. We don't just make SUVs, we make history. By Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Play 10 times the money. The new instant game from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 years or older to play. Please play responsibly. Another sellout here at the ballpark. Phillies trail at 6-3. Standing room only all around the yard. Speaking of sellouts, it's time for our Mazda League Leaders. How about the Phillies? 3,004,451 in 66 dates, the most in Major League Baseball. Now that's coming into today, so that number will go up a little bit, but it's been a pretty impressive run here at the ballpark.
Wow.
Outside, 1-1 the count to Victorino. The 2008 World Championship and everything around it these last few years has dictated the crowds filing through this ballpark. This ballpark has dictated a lot of that. This team on a daily basis has dictated a lot of that.
Well, the place to be in the city for entertainment for sure.
Fly ball right center field. And there's one away here in the fourth. And that'll bring Placido Polanco to the plate. That's one of the areas that has become so popular since the ballpark opened, but even with all the standing room only tickets that have been for sale, folks have kind of carved out their one spot that they like to stand if they have standing room only tickets. Polanco shows bunt, takes a breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-1. Fouled away. It's no balls and 2 strikes. And there are literally folks, if you go out toward Ashburn Alley, that have spots that they have picked out, and they're at just about every game.
Yeah.
Budweiser rooftop. It's also become very popular. 1-2 the count to Polanco. Into foul territory. Evans, the first baseman, comes over, runs out of room, that hits the roof of the dugout. Speaking of foul pop-ups, pretty good play here, Sarge.
Oh, you can see him saying, I got it, as he ended up picking that ball. See Polanco kind of getting out of the way to make sure that Carlos has enough room.
Now the 1-2 pitch. Again, he fouls it away. 87 pitches now for Mike Pelfrey. Mets bullpen these first 2 games has been used, obviously, because the starters have not gone deep. Jonathan Neese, who was put on the disabled list today by New York, went 4+ innings yesterday. Dylan G went 3 2/3 in game 1. And depending on how this inning goes, can't imagine that Pelfrey's going to go more than 5.
Well, that's what you want to do too, though, Tom, as a team. Make sure you get in the bullpen. See what those relief pitchers have done there for the Mets. And you know they have to be tired because they've been taxed. They've been used the last couple of days, and I'm sure even before then.
Back toward the middle, knocked down by Pelfrey. Polanco trying to hustle. Oh, boy. I didn't think there was any chance he was going to get him at first.
And a long throw as he underhand the ball. Charlie not coming out, not much of an argument. Take a look at it for yourself as he comes in. Might have got him there, Tom. Here's another look at it as he leaps in the air.
Nope, he got there first. He was safe.
Good call on that.
That last lunge is dangerous for a base runner, but that last lunge got Polanco to the bag. Charlie, he's up on the stair. I don't know if he's just looking for a different spot or if he was thinking about going out. A little late now, but I'm sure he was thinking about it.
Well, it's interesting when you slow it down, you can see the foot angle and where the ball is, whether or not it has hit the glove yet. That's why it's so difficult for umpires to make those kind of calls.
It's kind of interesting spot for him to sit and watch the game then. Sorry.
Well, he's changing his luck. All the way down.
Toward left center field. Pagan was playing deep over toward right center, and he gets there. Oh, and he dropped it. That's a live ball. Utley's around second. He'll hold up there. And that should be scored a double. It's a 2-out hit for the Phillies.
Yeah, he actually had it, never controlled it. Was the reason why he ends up getting a hit on that. Pagan getting and making up some ground. You see him come into this pitcher. Well, he did have to leap at the last minute, and you see he had actually lost the ball. Coming in again on it, leaps at the last minute, hits the ground. You got to be able to control the ball. See Utley coming around, that's about all he's going to be able to get.
So Charlie's still in that spot. He'll stay there if the Phillies can score some runs. They've got a base runner with 2 outs here in the 4th. Ryan Howard takes outside, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Got great power numbers, 26 home runs, over 90 ribbies. Doesn't get hurt, on his way to another 100 RBI season.
It's that hard, backhanded nicely by Evans, who flips to Pelfrey covering. And the side is retired. So the Phillies leave one in scoring position. They've left 7 so far. We go to the 5th. It's 6-3 New York.
Couldn't tell. It was close. I thought it might have been. You see that replay? Safe? Ah, dang it.
Well, we saw the replay too. We had the replay at our disposal. Jim Reynolds, the first base umpire, did not. Here's the play that Sam was just talking about. Pelfrey had the ball hit off his palm, Sarge, and then recovers.
Now, it took a long time to get it out of his hand. At last leap, though, you can see him on the bag. The ball hadn't quite got there yet.
Now, whether Polanco would have scored on Utley's double, he would have, he would have been moving because there were 2 outs.
Yep.
So he could have. Michael Schwimmer is the new pitcher for the Phillies, making his Citizens Bank Park debut. He threw 3 innings in his last outing, his first major league outing against the Washington Nationals. He'll face Jason Bay, Nick Evans, Josh Tolley. Michael Schwimmer out of the University of Virginia. And a changeup inside, 2-1. Jason Bay today is struck out. He's also lined to center. It's 0 for 2.
Jason Bay was always a little bit better hitter than what he's doing for the Mets this year, and especially average-wise. Usually a guy that would drive in over 80 runs. Not as feared as he once was with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Had a good year, too, over with the Boston Red Sox.
Had a great year with the Red Sox. I mean, he feasted on the Green Monster. 36 home runs, more than 100 runs batted in for Boston. And he's aboard with a leadoff walk here in the 5th. Well, Comcast sponsors the Be a Fanatic About Reading program. The Fanatic encourages children to read for a minimum of 15 minutes a day. Teachers register for the program, which is open for grades K through 8. Now, materials include bookmarks and pencils for each student, plus the opportunity to win a Fanatic literacy visit for the school. Email fandev@phillies.com. Nick Evans is 2 for 2. 3-run home run his first time up.
Yeah, that was a big blow in the first inning on Kyle Kendrick. Could have got out of that one. They've been only giving up that 1 run. Those 3-run home runs just put you in a hole.
Well, as you pointed out before, though, the error really put Kyle in the hole because he would have been out of the inning.
Yeah. Yeah, in a whole different way that Pelfrey would have probably pitched, even though he started off okay. He just did not find the zone. I mean, this is a guy that should be a better pitcher than what he is in the major leagues for me right now.
Well, that's upstairs. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Evans to right center field. That's going to split the gap and head to the wall. Bay's going to be waved home. The cutoff throw over the head. Well, Utley was able to retrieve it, but his throw goes to third, and Bay scores easily. It's now a 7-3 ball game. And Nick Evans is a triple away from the cycle.
Yeah. Ball carrying an awful lot there in the gaps. It seems like anything hit out there has been falling, splits them. Automatic double once it rolls to the wall or more.
So still nobody out. Runner in scoring position. Tolley's the hitter. It'll be Tolley, then Turner, then the pitcher spot. Soft fly ball behind third. Polanco's there. 1 away. So Evans remains at second. Turner's flied out twice, once to deep right center, another time to shallow center. Nobody's come out of the on deck circle yet. But Pelfrey does have his helmet on in the Mets dugout. Even though he struggled, they'll let him bat up by 4 with a chance to get through the 5th. Fouled away, and it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. A couple other games going on, not only in the National League, but also in one in the American League. I mentioned the Pirates and Brewers are facing off in Pittsburgh. That game's gone to the 8th. St. Louis and the Dodgers are underway. That game's in the 3rd. And it's 2-2. Story before about how the Giants have put in a claim for Heath Bell. Now there's a report that the Padres said that they're not going to make the trade, so they'll pull him back off waivers. We're still at that point.
Yeah. A lot of times just so difficult to trade within your division. But you really got to think about your team and if it's better for you.
Runner at second, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Justin Turner. And a foul ball. Now runners on first and second with 1 out. And Pelfrey will bat, most likely up there to try to sacrifice with 1 out. Although I don't know, maybe they'll let him swing. He's up by 4. I would think though they're going to try to put a couple of guys in scoring position for Angel Pagan.
Yeah, if I'm managing, I'm definitely going to go on and bunt. The more runs you get, the better you feel. That's just been chipping away, getting a run here or there.
Pelfrey has a hit today. His average at .089. And he squares. And he bunts it toward the right side. Howard picks it up. And the sacrifice is successful. 3-4 on the putout. And Angel Pagan, who's scored 2 runs already today, is the hitter.
He's had a good day today, contributing with those 2 runs and a single. Picked up a stolen base and ended up getting a run on that one. One of the things you can't teach Major League Baseball is speed. That's God-given talent. This puts a lot of pressure on the opposition.
He now has 27 stolen bases.
Well, I mean, even in these situations, because they have good speed, hitting from the left side, swinging bunts always come into play.
Schwimmer on in relief of Kyle Ketterick, who went the first 4, allowed 6 runs, 2 of which were earned. And a liner to left field. John Mayberry's there. He glides over to it, makes the catch. The side is retired. The Mets do get one on the RBI double by Nick Evans. We played 4.5. The Phillies. Exclusively through the Phillies, the Hunter Pence Let's Go Eat t-shirt. Inspired by Phillies right fielder himself, this collectible t-shirt is now available at the Majestic Clubhouse store, open daily from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. There's the t-shirt, Sarge.
Yeah.
Hunter has not come up with any new proverbs lately, so we're going to stay with that t-shirt for now.
I think he likes that. I know he likes the eating part.
Speaking of t-shirts, John Mayberry is on deck. He'll follow Hunter Pence. And Scott Branruth, in an email this morning, Phil's director of merchandise, assured me that the John Mayberry t-shirt jerseys are on order and are en route.
Scott said that, huh?
He did, yeah.
Okay.
Hunter Pence leads it off. It'll be Pence, Mayberry, Ruiz. There were folks in here yesterday in a tour, and they were wearing the Phillies throwback jersey that they're wearing today, and he had a Hunter Pence one already.
Wow. Well, they probably had those on order. Takes a while for the other guys. You got to hit the ball before you get your own shirt. That's pretty nice.
Good game. Let's go eat. Good swing.
Well, he's solid too, though. I mean, one of the things, obviously, that high fastball. You've seen when he gets 2 strikes what they try and do, but Hunter Pence does not back down. Keeps swinging, keeps hacking.
Well, here's John Mayberry. Phillies trail it by 4. They have bullpen action. Brad Lidge is up and throwing right now. Just as the Mets have tacked on single runs in each of the last 3, the Phillies are looking to start tacking on some runs of their own. Figure Lidge will pitch the 6th. Particularly if the Phillies get to the pitcher's spot, they still have a ways to go to get there. Mayberry fouls it back. It's 0-1. John talked to Sarge last night about his stance and how he's tinkered with it and changed it. Talked about Charlie Manuel and Greg Gross and Sal Rendy, who is the hitting coach down at Lehigh Valley. Sal's been at Lehigh Valley for 4 years. Or he was at the AAA for 4 years, and now he's back with the Iron Pigs. There's a chopper toward the middle. Tejada flips with his glove, and Turner can't get it out in time to get Mayberry.
Boy, just an inch from going right up the middle. Give Hunter Pence a lot of credit going in and disrupting that double play. Mayberry hitting it right off the end there. You can see Tejada flipping it. Turner not able to get that ball out of his glove. By then, it's a little late.
So 1 out. And again, a runner at first. Anyway, Sal, who's back at Lehigh Valley after being the Phillies hitting coordinator for the last several years. It's nice that John was able to give him some credit. Because,
absolutely.
Let's face it, John was teetering back and forth, goes down to AAA, and, you know, just the bits and pieces that he took from Charlie and Greg and brought him down to Lehigh Valley. And Sal was able to help that, you know, the tinkering. Rod Nichols does that as the pitching coach. They do a great job.
Yeah, exactly. That's where the development comes up with the fighting fields from the pitching side and the hitting side. That's why you see guys like Stutz that are here and holding their own, because they're developed in the minor leagues. Everybody on the same page, and when you're able to do that, you're able to get guys to come up to help the major league club, and that's what it's all about. But Mayberry, I mean, we talked about it last year. I mean, he's in a much more powerful hitting stance as opposed to standing straight up and coming off or bailing on a lot of the breaking pitches. Hasn't been doing that this year.
Ruiz checks. 1 ball and 1 strike.
No, it's hard enough to hit as it is, and if you don't have good mechanics, you just lessen your chances on getting hits.
Well, that's a pretty good staff down at AAA with Ryan Sandberg as the manager. Sal Rendy is the hitting coach. Rod Nichols is the pitching coach.
Yeah, well, I was glad he was able to really say exactly how he came up with the hitting stance, because a lot of times, especially hitters that have had some success, are reluctant to change their batting stance. And we see players even on the team today will go through periods of not hitting, but stay in the same spot.
Over toward the right side. Turner to his left. They'll get 1, not 2. So 4-6 on the putout. Michael Martinez will be the batter. Martinez singled and scored his first time up, grounded out to second his last time to the plate. Slide step from Pelfrey.
Maybe things that Carlos is going to maybe steal another base, trying to keep him close. Went back to his conventional way of throwing with that high leg kick. I think Carlos ended up stealing the base more unsurprised than, well, I'm going to get a jump and go.
Outside corner, 2-2. Bottom of the 5th, 108 pitches. But Charlie Manuel's crew has managed only 3 runs so far. They have 9 hits.
Well, it's still manageable, though. The way they've been swinging the bats, only 4 runs down.
That'll slice foul and out of play. Attaboy. Guy was nice enough to give it to the kid in front of him. Pete Orr blocked that ball from going into the crowd. He's on deck. He'll hit for the pitcher.
Martinez has had a real good at bat here, fouling off pitches, taking the count to 3-2. Get that ball maybe in the gap with a running start. Carlos Ruiz at first base could score.
And Carlos will get a running start as Evans plays behind him. There he goes. And another foul ball. Phillies get a couple more base hits. Pelfrey may not make it through the 5th inning.
Wow, yeah.
Ruiz goes again. And a grounder foul again.
He's fouling off some tough pitchers. That was a slider in on his hands after a fastball away. What you want to do, though, you want to zone him in a particular area if you can. Not necessarily in or out, but more so for the pitch that'll be up and down. Making sure you lay off of that high fastball or that off-speed pitch that would be in the dirt.
The count is 3-2. One foul ball off after another for Michael Martinez. Ruiz takes off from first. And a ground ball back to the box. Pelfrey's got it. The side is retired. So the Phillies leave one here in the 5th. We've completed 5. We go to the 6th. The Mets leading it by 4. Philly of the week is back from the minors and contributing in a major way. Few have made the journey to AAA and back as much as John Mayberry this season, but he is making a case for a permanent residence with the Phillies. The ball is coming off his bat with power and consistency, while the extra base hits keep piling up. Like his father, he can swing the bat, and these swings are brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Now more than ever, we're here for you every step of the way. Well, John Mayberry is manning left field today for the Phillies. He's had himself a heck of a run. He's 0 for 3 this afternoon, but he has really played his way into the minds of a lot of folks offensively. Raul Ibanez is due back on Friday, so Mayberry probably won't get as many ABs the next couple of days, but he still has been very productive.
Yep.
And we head to the top of the 6th here at Citizens Bank Park. And back to the bullpen. Brad Lidge is on. Michael Schwimmer went an inning. He let a hit, 1 run, walked a couple. So Lidge in his 12th ball game. Last time he pitched, he hit Johnny Gomes to bring home Ryan Zimmerman in Sunday's game that gave the Nationals the win over the Phillies.
Gomes didn't appear to get out of the way, or tried to get out of the way, but bases loaded, you don't mind getting hit. It means a victory.
Brad said after the game, he said as he released the ball, he couldn't believe it that he hit him. You know, they talk about no margin for error. That was truly the case there. 2-0 the count to Tejada.
Yeah, a lot of times pitchers don't want to throw inside just because of that, especially with the game on the line and throwing that ball inside. You got to have pinpoint control, because guys that don't mind getting hit, I hate Chase Utley, will take it.
How would you have played it if you were a hitter? Like if you were Johnny Gomes, how would you have played that when that ball came in?
I would have stood right there. Exactly did what he did. Game over. Although you got to, pick your pitchers. There's some guys that you're going to clearly get out of the way of, but that seemed to be not a real fast fastball.
Well, every time the Phillies retire the opposing team 1-2-3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity HD Triple Play, your complete lineup for digital TV, lightning fast internet, and home phone. David Wright is the hitter. Wright has a couple RBIs today. 42 on the year. And there's a strike. A slider over the knees.
Yeah, it seems that he's been able to get that slider over the plate more so than the fastball. Show you that he has a lot of confidence in throwing that, but he's going to have to spot that fastball before it's all said and done if the sliders becomes more effective. That was a fastball up and out of the zone.
At 89.
And he's going to want a little more velocity than that. At least up to maybe 91, 92 or so. See, just not able to spot it now. Let's see whether or not he comes back with the slider, which he feels more comfortable with.
Wright has been struck out 4 times by Lidge. 3-1 the count.
You can bet he'll probably be sitting on a particular pitch, whether or not it's breaking ball or the fastball. Not consistently able to get either one over, but I would think more confidence with his slider.
So he flinched a little bit.
Yep. That's more a hanger when it's up that high. He wants to get that ball breaking down and away on the corners.
Tejada goes, and a swing and a miss. The throw to second by Ruiz, not in time. A strikeout of David Wright, 1 away, and a runner in scoring position. So a stolen base for Tejada.
Well, Carlos not getting much of a chance. A huge leg kick, ball out of the zone. It's a fastball. No chance, though, to get Tejada as he's going into second base. Might want to watch him, too, because he's got that speed to get to third base.
Third stolen base of the year for Tejada. Lucas Duda has been on base twice today. Has an RBI, the first one of the game. Takes a slider for strike 1. No appeal. No, says Tim Welke. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Seattle has defeated Cleveland 9-2. The Indians 4-6 in their last 10. They've dropped below 500 for the first time since the third game of the year.
Wow.
They pulled even with the White Sox in a tie for second. And a called strike 3. A slider, and Duda just watched it go by. 2 outs. And American League Central, Cleveland and Chicago exactly at 63 and 64. The Detroit Tigers lead the way. Tigers have won 5 in a row, 7 of 10. And their success has been predicated on what they've done against the Central Stars. They're 30 and 18 against the Central.
Unbelievable. And that's exactly how you do it. Besides with Verlander, one of the better pitchers in the league, in both leagues. We're talking about this guy for MVP. Why not? Because he is simply carrying those Detroit Tigers.
19-game winner Verlander is. The National League has 2 16-game winners. Ian Kennedy and Clayton Kershaw both are 16-game winners now. 0-1 the count to Bay with a runner at second.
Well, you start talking about a pitcher being most valuable player. I mean, that's pretty dominating because you don't see him but every 5th day. You know, some of the other guys you're seeing on a daily basis. So for him to be even talking about it right now would show you that there's not a clear-cut winner, obviously, offensively for anybody in the American League.
Towering fly ball, shallow left. Martinez is there. So is Mayberry. Side is retired. So Lidge leaves one at scoring position. He gets 3 guys out, 2 with strikeouts. We go to the bottom of the 6th there at Philly. New Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. By Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. And by the Quality Plus Ford stores. Beautiful day down in Center City. The Phillies trail at 7-3. They are at the bottom of the 6th. Mike Pelfrey is still in the game for the Mets. He has a 4-run lead. He has not pitched well today, but he's pitched out of some jams.
Yeah, you're right. Has not pitched well, but he's come up with some good pitches when he's had to.
Pete Orr will pinch hit for Brad Lidge. Orr hitting .234, his second at bat since he's returned from the minors. There's Brad. He'll give way to Antonio Bastardo. Orr lifts it to right, not deep. Duda makes the catch. 1 out. Well, we mentioned Sam Perlazzo's mic today. Let's take a listen.
Where you going tomorrow, Jimmy? You off tomorrow or?
No, we don't have another day off. We have 1 day off the rest of the year.
Really?
I think we've got 7 weeks as of, or 5 weeks as of today. I think we've got 36 games in the next 35 days.
Vacation all gone?
Yeah, all gone, and we've got 2 doubleheaders left.
It is that time of the year. Some of the doubleheaders that took place or have to take place will be played in September. The Phillies have one against the Washington Nationals, a day-night doubleheader here at the ballpark. So busy schedules for everyone. The umpires, they lead a good life, obviously, but there's a lot of time on the road. I mean, they don't really get a chance to stay at home like we do and the players do here at Philadelphia. They got to go from place to place.
Yeah, not as much. They all like hanging around each other.
Victorino slaps it to left, and Jason Bay makes the catch. 2 outs.
Although they do get vacation time during the course of the year, and that's when you'll end up being able to swing at some of those AAA umpires coming up, calling balls and strikes or on the field.
Yeah, a lot of the vacation time is kind of new for umpires recently over the last 15 or so years. Placido Polanco, 2 for 3. A couple singles today. I always marveled at the minor league umpires. All these guys are minor leaguers that work their way up. But the minor league umpires, they have to travel by car most of the time, whether it be in the Eastern League, going from Reading to Portland to Akron to Virginia, or the South Atlantic League.
Yeah. Well, you're right about that. The umpires in the minor league have their own transportation where they're driving all around. And that's not such a great life then. Once they get to the major leagues, however, I mean, it's all bets are off then. It becomes pretty nice for them from the traveling or staying in different hotels.
Tim Burdack is in the bullpen for Chase Utley. The 2-1 to Polanco down the right field line. That's the 123rd pitch for Pelfrey, which ties his career high. Powerade Ion 4. Focus, hustle, hydrate, believe. Inside 3-2. Toyota Major League Scoreboard. Pirates have defeated the Brewers 2-0. What's going on now? I mean, seriously. Pelfrey chirping at Polanco. I think he's thinking Polanco put his shoulder into that pitch. I mean, you got to have a feel. The Phillies have had their issues with Mike Pelfrey over the last couple of years, mostly with Chase Utley. Here's the last pitch.
I can tell you this is the way you're supposed to be able to take the pitch. I mean, that's 3-2. He threw a breaking ball right there. I mean, if you catch the spin of the ball, that's the way you're supposed to be going into the ball. That's why these guys lose anyway, though. They're a bunch of crybabies, most of them. They really are.
3-2 the count to Polanco. To center field. It's not deep. It'll slice toward right center. And Duda puts it away, and the side is retired. So Pelfrey struggles through 6, but leaves with a 4-run lead. We go to the 7th. The Mets on top by 4.
Yeah, Verizon Wireless game summary. This one didn't get off to a real good start today. A 4-spot, all unearned in the first inning. Nick Evans home run, the big blow. He's a triple away from the cycle. He's had a big game with 4 runs batted in. David Wright has a solo home run. Shane Victorino knocked in 2 to get the Phillies within a run, but since then a picket fence by the Mets, and they have built their lead to 7-3. Kyle Kendrick, tough afternoon for him, and well, somehow Mike Pelfrey has gotten through 6 innings with 120-some pitches, and well, we'll see whether he's finished or not.
Well, he's at 125 pitches. Antonio Bastardo will take over for the Phillies here in the top of the 7th. Bastardo will face Evans, Tolle, and Turner. .5-0, 1.48 earned run average. He's blown 1 save. He has 8 saves overall, 57 strikeouts in less than 50 innings.
1 save, of course, was Sunday afternoon on that 2-strike pitch to Ian Desmond of Washington.
Well, Evans will lead it off. As Wheels mentioned, he's a triple away from the cycle. Hit a 3-run home run back in the first.
And he has 2 triples this year.
And he lines one right at Polanco, 1 away. 1 pitch, 1 set aside. Polanco was still steaming in between innings from the quick conversation that he was having with Pelfrey.
What was that all?
Pelfrey thought he was leaning into the pitch.
Yeah, right. That's just what he's going to do with that elbow of his. He's going to put his elbow in front of a pitch after all he's been through with his elbow. Wasn't that a breaking ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's sometimes a pitcher will think, well, I didn't throw it as hard. You know, they're trying to lean into one. It looked like he just tried to get out of the way at the last second. I don't know. Kind of seemed kind of silly.
Josh Tolle today, he's 0 for 3. He's grounded out to short. He's reached on a fielder's choice. He's popped out to third.
See if Pelfrey comes out into the on-deck circle.
They've had 4th. Yeah, they have Burdack loosening up. You figure Utley's going to lead it off.
Right, and they got Phillies with a couple left-handed hitters next inning. He came in and struck out a couple batters last night.
Little number foul, and it's 1-2. There's Burdack. By the way, Wheels, here come the Rockies again. Put a 4-spot up in the first. It's 4-2. They lead the Astros.
Well, if they make a run this year, they're the only people who believe they could make a run. The way things are going. If they traded Jimenez away,
who's really struggled with Cleveland since he's gone over.
Kevin Millwood just won a game for them the other day. J.C. Romero is in their bullpen.
He won a game for them.
They're still 6 games under 500, but that division is not real strong.
Well, it'll take a lot. They're 8.5 games out, but you never know if they have one of those months of September, which they've had before.
They're 9 in the loss column to Arizona.
Outside 2-2 to Tolle. They're playing the Astros today. The Astros,
tough year.
Yeah, they're the only team that's officially eliminated from anything in Major League Baseball. By the way, the Rockies, we talked about Heath Bell before, that the Giants put in a claim for him. The Rockies put in a claim for Wandy Rodriguez, but they have until tomorrow to work out a deal to acquire Rodriguez with the Astros.
When you think about how the Astros season got started this year, they played a really good game on opening day here. Then the Phillies threw that 9th inning rally together with Mayberry getting the winning hit. Came from nowhere to beat them that day and swept them in that series, and it's been pretty much downhill for them.
3-2 the count to Tolle. Ball 4. So a 1-out walk here in the 7th. And Justin Turner will come up. Host your next corporate or social event here at the ballpark. The ballpark offers a variety of unique spaces and on-site catering available year-round for many types of functions, both large and small. Take advantage of all the ballpark has to offer. Tours, Vanavision usage. Call 215-218-5100 or go to Phillies.com/special events for more details. Stardo works ahead of Turner. No balls and 1 strike. Well, he's worked ahead now, 1-2.
Ronnie Paulino's out there to pinch hit, but they added a 3rd catcher today.
Right.
With the DL of Jonathan Neese, so they can use Paulino as a pinch hitter and then still have another catcher.
They have Nicky as who they brought up from the minor leagues. So Pelfrey's afternoon is complete. One and 2 the count to Justin Turner with 1 out here in the 7th. And he went. Tough pitch, a slider, and there are 2 outs. Well, these lucky fans are the Safternoon Citizens 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. So Ronnie Paulino will pinch hit against Bastardo. And a fastball outside, 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Pelfrey 6 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. He left 8 men on base today.
Well, in a ballpark where he has really struggled, he managed to get through 6 innings, only give up 3 runs today. Somehow.
Had a lot of deep counts along the way.
Ooh. Threw 125 pitches in 6 innings. He had some deep counts.
Paulino fouls it away off to the right. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the order is due up. Runner goes. Pitch is hit behind the plate in front of us and out of play. So Tully will go back to first. Phillies in their half of the 7th have Utley, Howard, and Pence due up. It looks like they'll be facing Tim Burdack.
Yeah, see how they want to piece it together today with the Mets. You know, Burdick may just come in, pitch with 2 left-handed hitters, and then they'll have a right-hander ready to come in just in case.
There goes again, another foul ball.
I was looking out there, it's like one of those American League games I used to see.
There goes again, and ball 4. So 2 walks in the inning for Bastardo. He doesn't do that often. And they'll go back to the top of the order. Rich Doobie going out to the mound to talk to Bastardo. Phillies bullpen has been really good this year, even with all the injuries. We mentioned that Contreras is going to have season-ending surgery. But so many guys have stepped up that they didn't expect. I think Rich Doobie just asked Carlos Ruiz about those couple of those pitches, and Carlos said, "Yeah, they're strikes." David Herndon's up and loosening. Chris Capuano, one of the starting pitchers for the Mets, is on the pinch run for Paulino. And Angel Pagan is up for the 4th time.
Something must be wrong with Paulino. He caught the first game of the series, but you're not going to put a pinch runner and use a pitcher when you're winning 7-3. And that run's not that big a deal.
I don't remember. Did he do anything the other night? Did he get hit by a ball?
I don't remember anything happening, but you know, he hasn't played since then. Granted, they've been right-handed pitchers, but you know, maybe they're just thinking that's an important run.
They could. I mean, it's 7-3 in this ballpark, and with this Phillies offense,
yeah, and they've
scored a lot of runs.
Maybe they're thinking, well, I get a guy faster to second base, and you know, take away that force play to end the inning. We'll see.
0-1 the count to Pagan.
A lot of times you just don't like to pinch run a starting pitcher, though, unless you really have to, because you take a chance of so many ways a guy can get hurt out there.
Swing and a miss. He got him. So after walking 2, he also strikes out 2, and Bastardo gets through the 7th. Wheels were told that Paulino possibly has a broken toe as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Trivia quiz answer. Wheels, here's the question one more time. What Mets pitcher holds the franchise's single-season record for shutouts by a rookie?
Well, they could have a few guys. You know, you throw out names like Seaver, Kuzman, Nolan Ryan, but I'm going to go with Doc Gooden.
Doc Gooden would be incorrect.
Really?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Well, you named him.
I did.
Out of those three.
Seaver?
Incorrect.
Noli?
Incorrect.
Jerry Kuzman.
Jerry Kuzman.
Wow. Talk about those, how many great pitchers they had, you know, that had good starts to their career, and the Cruiser had 7. Huh?
Yep. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of Phillies prize pack. And thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans.
Dwight Gooden had in that first year.
Changes for the Mets. Lucas Duda moves from right field over to first base. Jason Pridey is the new right fielder, so he'll hit in Nick Evans' spot. So no chance for the cycle for Evans. And Tim Burdack is the new pitcher. Burdack is on to face Utley, Howard, Pence. Those are the 3 hitters due up, although Manny Acosta's up and loosening in the pen. He's a right-hander.
Right. That's what you figure. Burdack's in for the 2 left-handed hitters.
Mike Pelfrey threw 125 pitches. That's a career high for him. Phillies managed 3 runs on 9 hits. And Utley rips it toward the alleyway in right center field. That's going to be in for a hit, and it'll roll to the wall. Utley already has a double, and he'll pull into second. That ball's gotten away from Ruben Tejada, and Utley will go to third. Well, I'll tell you, I'm not saying that's an easy base running play, but he's just really smart.
Yeah, it's heads up because he watched the play. You know, he goes into second, and he's going to stop there, especially down by 4 runs. No sense in taking any chances. Then he sees Pagan throw it. Right there, sees watching, and then he sees where the throw is. He knows where the infielder is, and he can walk to third. Pagan just airmails this thing, not even close to the cutoff man.
So it's a double and an E8, the 9th error of the year for Pagan.
Just careless. Pagan's part, you know, the score the way that it is. Guy's not going to go to third on that. Just get it into the cutoff, man. He didn't even look. He just threw it.
19 doubles now for Utley. Ryan Howard today is 0 for 1. He's walked twice. And he takes a slider for strike 1.
We'd like to see another hit. You know, just get a rally going, because the way the Mets bullpen has gone lately, you know, in the back of their minds, they're thinking no lead is safe.
Ken Oberkfell, the bench coach. 1-1 the count to Howard. Howard pulls it foul, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Off his foot.
He's having trouble with his feet anyway. What's it, the left foot that's giving him the problem?
Right, that's off the tip of the right foot.
Toes of the right foot.
Three and 2 the count.
basically 2 batter appearance, you would think, for Burdack. Throwing a lot of sliders, and may as well throw another one. I think it's his last hitter.
Howard fouls it off again. And a call, strike 3.
Fastball, wasn't it?
Yep. One gone. Terry Collins is already out. He's calling to the pen. Oh boy.
All the pitches of that have been close. And that one's not that close.
The same thing.
I mean, that thing is outside and high.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So Tim Burdack's afternoon is complete. There's still a runner over at third for the Phillies. The right-hander's coming on to face Hunter Pence. This is an AT&T call to the bullpen at Citizens Bank Park with the Phillies down by 4. And the Eagles, they prepare for their preseason matchup against the Browns. And all the news Philly fans need to know on Sports Night at 6 and 10, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Matty Acosta's the new pitcher for the New York Mets. He'll take over with a runner at third and 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. The Phillies down by 4. 30th game for Acosta, 1-1, a 4.18 ERA. He's pitched for the Yankees, the Braves, and now he's pitching for the Mets. Hunter Pence this afternoon, 1 for 3. And a chopper back toward the middle. Turner gets to it, throws off balance, a run scores. It'll be an infield single for Pence. And it's a 7-4 ball game. That's what we're talking about swinging early with the runner in scoring position.
Yeah, and he hits that one kind of no man's land. Now, a lot of second basemen are going to make that play, throw him out. In this case, Turner wasn't able to. Looked like a high fastball. Throws across his body, but not even close to the bag. Good job by that new first baseman, Duda, to come off the bag and save an extra base here.
11 hits now for the Phillies, so they've reached double digits in hits again. They've done it now in all 3 games. Mayberry takes strike 1. It's 0-1.
This guy throws hard, but you know he's the kind of guy you could pop one on. That thing was 96. Look at what's happening with these guys with their bullpen. There counts today's run.
Bullpen this month, 5.84 earned run average for the Mets. And it's no balls and 2 strikes now to Mayberry. 28 in the 3rd inning so far for Matty Acosta. He has allowed, and Will said this, he throws hard, but you can get him. He's allowed 6 home runs.
Oh, yeah. He's kind of a straight fastball.
Here's the 0-2 coming. And a breaking ball. Mayberry holds. It's 1-2.
You know, he may swing at the next one, but that's the improvement in John Mayberry right there. One of the improvements is that's a hard pitch for a right-handed hitter to lay off with 2 strikes on him, and he never could lay off the John Mayberry we used to see. So, you know, that just shows you how he's growing as a hitter now. Another one not even close to being as good as that last one, though. This guy really wraps his slider when he throws it.
Phillies trying to make a little noise late in this game. They trail it by 3. Behind the plate, Tolle didn't realize it right away, and he reacted to get to the baseball and make the catch.
It looked like a hanging slider right there, and he just shot it straight up the chute. He realizes it too, and he had one to hit. This guy really has a flat breaking ball. There it is. Oh, hanger city, and he hits it off the end of the bat a little bit. Right back up behind plate. As you said, Tolle didn't know where it was, and they were probably yelling at him. Back.
So Mayberry's 0 for 4. Here's Ruiz. Carlos has had 2 hits today.
That breaking ball, there's no bite to it. You know, it almost looks like a slurve or a curveball in between curve and slider, but it just rolls up there. The one that he threw to Mayberry, the first one was down a little bit. The others are all just spinners. That was a better one.
Yep, that had some bite to it. No swing, says the first base umpire, Jim Reynolds. 2 balls, 1 strike to count to Ruiz with a runner at first. And 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Called strike 3. A fastball at the knees. The side is retired. The Phillies get 1. They leave 1. We go to the 8th. It's 7-4 New York. Or visit ChevyDealer.com. By AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. And by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. Oh, on to the top of the 8th. Here in South Philadelphia, the Mets lead it 7-4. The Phillies have had to use their bullpen today, 1 inning at a time. Antonio Bastardo pitches a scoreless 7th inning. He struck out 2, walked a couple. And now it's David Herndon who comes into the ball game. 35th game for Herndon. 1-2, a 3.61 earned run average. And he'll face Tejada, David Wright, and Lucas Duda. They do score the run allowed by Burdack as an unearned run.
Right, because the infield hit by Pence is not going to score a guy from second base. That's where Huntley should have been. Then the pop foul to the catcher, 2 outs. 3rd out in the strikeout, unearned run. I can't figure them out that often, but I can figure that one out.
Tejada today has been on base 3 times. He reached on a fielder's choice and an E6 his first time out. And he takes inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Been a nice run that David Herndon is on since the 23rd of July. That's 9 games for him. He has 10 2/3 scoreless. Victorino. Sign up now for the Fightin' Phil's fan club. Membership includes official Fightin' Phil's fan club membership card, a decal, and a hat. Subscription to MLB.com game day audio for your PC. Special access to Fightin' Phil's members only page on Phillies.com and more. Join at Phillies.com. David Wright hits it back toward the middle, just past the diving Martinez. And he has 3 hits today. Phillies bullpen has the 7th lowest earned run average in the league at 3.51. You know, every team has injuries, but the fact that they've been able to do what they've done with the injuries they've sustained, it's been pretty good. Think about the youngsters like Bastardo, Herndon, Stutes, who have contributed to the back end of this bullpen.
I mean, some guys step up, and they really needed them.
Could have been a whole different season with all the injuries the Phillies had in their pen.
Oh yeah, these guys hadn't stepped up the way they have.
Lucas Duda lines one toward left center field. That's going to be in for an extra base hit. Wright's around second. He's going to try to score. Nope. Chip Hale now puts the stop sign up. Michael Martinez with the relay, and Shane Victorino did a heck of a job not allowing that to get to the wall and bounce around.
Yeah, and that's what made Chip Hale stop him at third. Stop David Wright, because when Shane slid for that, he kept it in play, and you could see he was going to be able to get it back in. Wright, you know, runs pretty well, but not that well. Here it is, and watch what he does. He does a really nice job going into a slide here, knocks it down and controls it immediately, gets it into the cutoff man Martinez. Third base coach sees that, breaks go on. Whoop. Once he saw that, I mean, because that ball looked like, for all intents and purposes, as you said, Tommy, that was going to the wall.
Well, and Victorino was shaded over toward right center with Duda at the plate. Now the Phillies will play the infield in. They trail it by 3. It's 7-4 here in the top of the 8th. Jason Bay 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Each team now with double digits in hits. Back toward the box. Herndon's got it. Now he's got Wright between third and home. He runs at him, fakes, makes the tag. 2 outs. David Wright has battled back problems this year.
Yeah, he looks like he's a little bit banged up right now, too. really have to go here, but unless they were going on contact, and it almost appeared they were. So as soon as it was hit, he broke, and it doesn't get by Herndon. And here's David Wright trying to just duck under the tag, and they collide. Herndon kind of Wright kind of told Herndon it was okay. You know what happened there. Looked like he was going to get flipped for a second.
Yeah. Also looked like he was thinking about flipping to third after he applied the tag on Wright.
Yeah, and Wright was trying to stay on the rundown to get second and third out of it.
Jason Pridey with runners on first and third, hitting for the first time. Takes a breaking ball for strike one. Trying to stop the scoring here in the eighth and keep it at a 3-run game. They fake to third, look to first. Carlos has lost his sunglasses.
Yeah. But they snapped on him.
One and two the count. Friday way out in front of that changeup.
Well, those guys are able to get new designer sunglasses pretty easy.
Absolutely.
They just seem to appear.
Like bubble gum.
Yeah. And all different kinds. Pretty jazzy.
Runners lead off first and third. And Friday checks on a low pitch. Another changeup by Herndon. And it's even 2-2.
And that guy just said what we were thinking. He just rang Howard up on one like that. That fan is right on with that one.
Runner will be going from first. That's Jason Bay. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And the pitch. Foul ball. So Dudok goes back to third. Bay back to first. Runner goes and a swing and a miss. Boy, Herndon works his way out of a jam here in the 8th inning. Well, he had a little help. Lucas Duda thought he might have an RBI, but Shane Victorino stopped it in the alleyway, and Chip Hale had to put the stop sign up at third. Maybe not, but it's a beautiful afternoon. Part of this sellout crowd at Citizens Bank Park. Got a little Fanatic doll as we go to the bottom of the 8th, and Michael Martinez will lead it off against Manny Acosta.
Still have 6 outs to go, down by 3. It just seems worse the way this thing has gone long today. But, you know, put a little rally together, you never know.
Yeah, Ryan Matson's loosening up in the pen in case there is indeed a rally here in the 8th. And it's 2-0 to Martinez. Ross Clode has come out of the on-deck circle to pinch hit for David Herndon. You know the count. And there's a strike. Jason Isringhausen is in the bullpen for the Mets. Here in the bottom of the 8th, you would think that Parnell would be closing then.
Oh my.
That's a ball.
Yeah, it's just not a strike. You know, it's just getting
and
a little.
It hasn't been today.
It's getting a little erratic all of a sudden.
Well, it caused him to swing at that pitch.
Yeah, I mean that was a really. Michael Martinez put a good at bat on him there to walk to lead off this inning, and then he chases one way out of the strike zone.
Ross Clode now to pinch hit for the Phillies. Ross is 0 for his last 15. Trying to get on base, bring the Phillies a little closer, down by 3 here in the 8th. There's a lot of talk about the Phillies helping out their bench and signing Jack Cuss, the former DH of the A's and the Mariners. Cuss last year just go to. Some thought the Phillies would try their bench.
Pirates signed Heilman right away.
Almost immediately. So maybe there was a need, and you know, the Phillies didn't really have a need. Cuss got off to a pretty good start with Lehigh Valley, but then scuffled a little bit. Not many at bats. Glow tries to check. Did he go? Yes, he did, says Tim Welke. And it's 1-2.
Yeah, it looked like he did go. Then he did.
1-2 the count to Ross Clode. And he rips it down the right field line. It's a fair ball, and it's going to the corner. And Glode's on his way to second. It's his first hit since the 28th of July.
Yeah, the way poor Ross Clode has been going, he figured that ball was going to go foul. But he just kept it fair down the line. You don't know what would have happened, but I mean, the inning should have begun with a walk. Should be second and third right now. There it is. Hooks it, just fair. And Ross Clode, he is safe at second base, and he's safe and secure with New York Life.
So a runner in scoring position. Now the top of the order's up, so you put a little pressure on Manny Acosta. And a strike to Victorino. It's 0-1.
Yeah, they don't have another left-hander either. They used him up. Tim Burdick's the only left-hander in the bullpen, and he pitched in the 7th.
Phillies have left 9 today. They're 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Chopper right side. Turner has to wait for Duda to get to the bag. He didn't touch the bag. Here comes Terry Collins. Boy, he gets out there fast.
Yeah, he can run. It looked like the play was. It looked like it beat him, the throw, as you said, Tom. But then he missed the bag. I don't know what else he could have called because the play beat him. But you know, he never pointed down like he missed the bag.
That's true. That's usually the case.
Yeah. So here's the throw. I mean, he's out. I don't know. I mean, he's out.
Let's take a listen.
Did he miss a bag?
That's what Sam said.
Because normally, you know, the umpire's going to point at the guy's feet. You know, like you missed a bag. Because the throw sure beat him. That's good for the Phillies.
Yep, first and third. Placido Polanco's the hitter. E3 on Lucas Duda. So Glode's at third. Victorino's at first. Polanco today is 2 for 4.
Tie and run.
It's gotten all the way to this point here at the bottom of the 8th. Breaking ball for strike, 0-1.
Polanco doesn't shoot too many balls in the alley in left center. But boy, does he have a lot of room out there.
He does it. It's a one-run game.
Oh, yeah. Pagán is so shallow. Look where Pagán is, how shallow he is. All that room out in left center field as they're taking away the gaps over here.
Back toward the middle, off the glove of Acosta, picked by Turner. There's one, there's two. What a play by Justin Turner to start that double play.
Yeah, that just may have saved the game for him.
4-6-3, and the inning is over. The Phillies leave one over at third. Justin Turner, he's been pretty good offensively for the Mets, but right there, he was really good defensively. And Ryan Matson's in the ballgame to try to keep this at a 3-run game. Phillies had an opportunity to draw even closer in their last at bat. Placido Polanco hit the ball hard. It may have been brushed by the pitcher Manny Acosta, but Justin Turner, the second baseman, made an outstanding play. So now Matson, 46 games. He's 3-2, a 3.25 earned run average.
Great job by Tejada in the middle of that, too, to fire that baby to first base and get a double play because, you know, you don't get a double play there at 7-5, and Chase Utley's coming up with a man on base
with no lefty, as you pointed out, in the bullpen.
So that's like I say, that you look at it, and as goofy as this game's been all day, that just saved the game for him at this point.
Well, to start the ninth, it'll be Tolley, Turner, who you just saw, and the pitcher's spot. They have Parnell loosening up in the bullpen. There's Bobby Parnell.
It's a lonely voice out there in the crowd. Some guy going, "Let's go Mets." Remember when there used to be a lot of "Let's go Mets" chants down here?
And at the vet too.
Oh, at the vet especially.
Yeah, you can't chirp as much anymore when you've lost all 5 series.
Yeah.
And you're 23 and a half out.
Yeah, you're having that kind of year they're having. It's a little tough. It's like the Phillies fans don't even care. Go ahead, cheer. Whatever.
Here's your stage.
Yeah, have a good time. Still probably a good ballpark for the Mets fans to come down, see some games.
Swing and a miss and a changeup. One gone here in the ninth. And here comes Justin Turner. So Matson gets the first out. Speaking of ballparks, you see I read a story where the outfield wall is going to be shortened at Citi Field next year.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure their players are delighted. Been some talk that they would do something with the dimensions there to help out a little bit with the offense.
It's 16 feet in left. They're going to drop it to 8. As Turner pulls it toward third. Polanco throws him out. 2 outs. Oh, good, Wheels.
All right, WB Mason delivery of the game, Tom. First inning, 1-0 at the time. 2 outs. It looked like Kyle Kendrick might get out of that first inning, but no, it looked like he wanted to throw a backdoor sinker there, and it unfortunately ran right into the middle of the plate. And Nick Evans hit the ball in the ballpark, made it 4-0. Then the Mets have led the entire game. That's our WB Mason delivery of the game.
So 2 outs. Willie Harris will pinch hit. And Matson asks for a new baseball. Cutter inside, 1 ball and no strikes. His changeup's good today.
Yeah, this is a good day for him to come in and get some work. He hasn't pitched since he had that tough game on Friday night. And, you know, with a day off tomorrow, they want to get him some work.
1 ball, 1 strike to Willie Harris. And a fastball for strike 2. The fastball is at 92. I think that was a cutter.
I think it was. He see what he is with 2 strikes. A lot of guys. He got a hit with 2 strikes. There's a lot of guys. It's really hard to hit with 2 strikes. Good job there by Willie Harris. That pitch was up.
He's aboard, so the top of the order is coming up for New York. Phillies will have Utley lead off the bottom of the 9th inning.
Well, they made a run at the Mets in that 8th, but great play by Turner to end it with a double play. And Michael Martinez, you know, looked like he had gotten on base with a walk, but didn't get the call.
Each team has left double digits today.
Yeah.
The Mets have left 11, and the Phillies have left 10.
There's been a lot of ugliness here today in this.
One of those games.
It's just one of we're not used to these. Really been spoiled how good the games have been all year. Phillies play such a good brand of baseball.
They didn't fish after the changeup. 1-2.
No new sunglasses for Carlos. Didn't have a backup pair.
Guess he figures he doesn't need them now.
No.
Shadows around the plate.
Could be a little bit of a glare though out there in center field.
Pregame just barely gets a piece of it to extend the life of this at bat. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Carlos Ruiz using pretty simple signs there with nobody at second base. Just did the little wiggle for changeup. Comes another one.
Ground ball to third. Polanco charges, stays down on it, and just barely gets Pregame. That's a fine play. And the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man less. One last chance for the Phillies with Chase Utley to lead it off. By 3 as we go to the bottom of the 9th. Let's listen in to what Sam Perlazzo's had to say.
That's right, Chichi. Atta baby. Got 1 out. Watch your line drive. He's quick coming over here. Watch your third to first. Watch your second baseman sneaking in behind us, all right?
So many different guys down there at first. He has so many different instructions for each of them.
Yeah, and a lot of
situations.
Exactly. A lot of it depends on the situation of the game. And that's you got a little feel right there for Sam Palazzo and talking to the runners when they come down there, what they should be aware of.
Well, here we go. Chase Utley will lead it off. It'll be Utley, Howard, and Hunter Pence against Bobby Parnell. Utley has 3 hits today. He has scored a run, driven in a run. And he takes a fastball up high, 1-0.
He's just trying to get on base or trying to get a rally going here.
We talked about it last night that there's some thought around the Mets camp that Bobby Parnell will be the closer next year, or at least be given a chance to be the closer next year. So whether they're grooming him or not, giving him spots here and there, you know, they've had a revolving door since Frankie Rodriguez was traded away to Milwaukee.
Well, stuff wise, you know, he's the guy. Makeup wise, you know, we're not around him enough to know whether he can do that job or not, but stuff wise he could be a closer. Throws real hard and has a much improved breaking ball.
11 runs in his last 15 games.
Well, that's not good.
No. Be good if that stretch continues today. That's a good start.
And it's a really good at bat by Chase Utley. Smart player. He's not going to swing till he gets at least one strike.
Get all the highlights and a complete recap of this matchup immediately after the game. Stay tuned for the expert analysis of Ricky Bo on Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance, right here after the game.
Same thing here with Ryan Howard. You know, a 2-run home run here is almost a rally killer. So, you know, you want him to just get on base, take some pitches, get a base hit.
But you take the 2-run home run.
Yeah, you take it, but you know what I'm saying. A lot of times that is. You put a lot more pressure on the team when you got guys out there running all over the place. Now they're going to go in a big old overshift on him with a 3-run lead. They're not worried about a double play here. They could care less.
Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
See where the infielders are now. Now, you know, many times when you're in a close game and all that, you're not going to go into this with the guys. Well, there's another guy out there in the outfield. We'll find him shortly. You don't do that. But now all they want is an out here. Big plate with Howard the last 2
Yeah, there hasn't been a big plate most of the day.
Boy, if you're the Mets right now, you must think the game's never over.
Have to think that.
They get the Braves next, too, in New York for the weekend.
2-2 the count to Howard. Second time Howard's gone down on strikes. And here comes center fence.
The high fastball.
Pence has 2 hits in his last 2 at-bats. I should say a hit in his last 2 at-bats. In each of his last 2 at-bats. And he takes strike 1. 0-1 the count.
See how nasty he can be. You know, he throws hard, 98-mile-an-hour, hard slider, and that's why he could, pitch-wise, stuff-wise, be a closer in this league. Ooh, man. The second time today they did that to him.
Well, you figure he's going to go down and away now with this next pitch.
Well, that's a 97 fastball coming right at him. That'll make you pull off a little bit.
He went, according to the home plate umpire. No help from Jim Reynolds. There are 2 outs here in the 9th.
We figured he was going to go hard slider away after that crush back, and he does. Hunter trying to hold up here. Home plate umpire said he went.
Well, 2 outs. Here's John Mayberry. Last hope for the Phillies. Need to get 1 more base runner. Bring the tying run to the plate. Mayberry takes a strike. It's 0-1. 99 in the gun on that one. Parnell has only one other save. It was back in 2009. It was a 3-inning appearance. It's like the old days, Wheels.
Yeah. It's a Kent Tekulve, Tug McGraw type save.
Mayberry holds. It's 2-1.
Any changeup from Bobby Parnell. All fastball, slider.
Five wins in August for Terry Collins' Mets. Wow. Phillies are trying to pick up their 16th win here in August. It would be the 7th straight month. And they're one base runner away from bringing the tying run to the plate. That last pitch at 100 out of the strike zone.
That one probably sounded low.
So Utley will be off and running. 3-2, 2 outs. Was he throwing 100 the other night?
No. 97, 98 was, I remember it was the tops. Now it's another 2 miles per hour. Just a little adrenaline.
Utley goes. The 3-2. Fouled away. Got to have to have a quick bat to get around on that. 102 according to the gun.
Gun's overheating a little bit. Being Cincinnati for 4 next week, see that Chapman. No, we're going to see him. He throws 100 miles per hour plus.
They're talking about putting him into the. They're talking again about putting him into the starting rotation. Not this year. Utley's not being held on at first. And the 3-2. Slider inside, ball 4. The tying run is coming to the plate.
I don't. You know, you can throw a breaking ball there when the guy's hitting the fastball over his own dugout. But I guess they're going to fool him. Glad he did.
Absolutely. Here's Ruiz, who has 2 hits today and 4 at-bats. Ben Francisco has come out of the on-deck circle to pinch hit for Michael Martinez. And Ruiz chops it to the left side. Tejada has it, and the Mets win the final game of this 3-game series. They do it by a final score of 7-4. The second career save for Bobby Parnell. It wasn't pretty. It turned out to be one of the longest games of the year for the Phillies time-wise. But the Mets win it 7-4. Nick Evans, our Chevrolet player of the game, 3 for 4, a double, a home run, 4 runs batted in. He was a triple away from the cycle this afternoon. The winning pitcher is Mike Pelfrey. He managed to get through 6 somehow and allowed 3 runs, walked a couple, allowed 9 hits, and then Bobby Parnell finished it off for his first save of the year. 7-4, the Mets win it. We'll be back to talk about it right after this.